A few weeks ago, let me start again. Sorry. A few weeks ago, I sent Ryan something on Instagram. I follow this Instagram account called Shanghai Observe, and I follow it because it has a lot of funny things that I recognize from when I was there. And they posted this article, and I had no idea about this, and some of you history buffs out there might. So the supreme communist leader, Mao Zedong of China, years ago, and this story takes place, between the late 1950s and early 1960s. Mao decided he was going to make some changes to, the environment for the people of China, and he called this the Great Leap Forward, and it went from 1958 to 1962. And part of this movement was to eliminate 4 pests from all of China, and these pests were rats, flies, mosquitoes, and sparrows. So he wanted all of these pests eradicated from the entire country. And, they didn't have like the tools and the analytics that we do these days. And it didn't go so well for one of these particular animals. So one of them was sparrows, so birds. I don't know what his problem was with birds, so maybe Ryan could shed some light on that as a former bird hater. But this campaign was called the Smash Sparrows campaign. He wanted the citizens of China to rise up and kill all of the sparrows to the point where people were shooting them out of the skies, knocking nests out of trees and smashing eggs, hitting them with brooms, trying to kill all of the sparrows. And something quite unfortunate happened. It was a severe ecological imbalance being one of the causes of the Great Chinese Famine. So basically what happened here was he pointed out that sparrows were pests. He didn't want them around anymore. But because all these sparrows were being ruthlessly murdered by the citizens of China, there were no sparrows to eat the mosquitoes. And he reasoned this because the sparrows would eat the fruit and other things that the people of China could eat. And he thought those were for the people of China. But because all of these sparrows were dead, the other pests took a hold of the environment because you can't possibly kill all of the mosquitoes. It's not possible.
No.
So, Ryan, do you want to highlight some of the issues that happened?
Yeah. So during the next 3 years, 45 million people died in a famine.
45 million people
because of all the critters they tried to exterminate.
Yeah, because of the imbalance in the
45 million
over the next 3 years. Talk about one of your all-time backfires, huh? So, needless to say, he's not one of the most popular.
I'm glad we can laugh about it now.
Yeah, well, whatever. See, this is why communism will never work in this country.
They're communists, Matt.
I have a question. I'm looking up sparrows right now.
Like innocent birds.
Right, but sparrows are not like pigeons, or are they in China? Like, you're not going to be like they're small and like very quick.
Yeah. I don't know how they got them all.
I read about, and I didn't read about it but everybody says you read about, but I read about or heard about like in places where they try to control deer population, like on islands, they will fly over with a helicopter and just like fucking sharpshooters will take out the deer. But I picture it like from like a gun from like
Platoon. In The Thing when they're hunting the dog.
Bop, bop, with grenades. Yeah, right.
So rather than being, by killing all of these pests, rather than, increase yields in rice and fruits, they were substantially decreased. He ordered the campaign to stop, and he wanted to replace sparrows in the 4 pest campaigns with bed bugs. But it was too late.
White fruit.
With no sparrows to eat them, locust population boomed, swarming the country and compounding ecological problems.
Excellent.
The locusts ate all
including
the food.
widespread deforestation and misuse of poisons and pesticides.
So then we just leave environments alone, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do. We just stop trying to imbalance the population of animals.
Whatever they're doing is working. The animals, they got it figured out. We're the ones screwing it up.
Exactly.
So I used to work at Save the Bay, as you both know, and as some of you may know. There was always this big thing that we fought at Save the Bay. We used to fight invasive species. Invasive species being something that's not supposed to be there. I always had the thought in my head that, if it's there and it's like it's a nature thing and it's not and there's some instances where there's a man-made thing where like things get transplanted and then they have no predators, and like the Asian shore crab, right? Asian shore crabs would come over in the ballasts of ships because they'd suck up the water to balance the ship with all the containers on them. And then when they get to port, they shoot all the water out when the containers get unloaded to balance themselves again, or vice versa. And the crabs like shoot out from like China, and they're in the bay, in Narragansett Bay all of a sudden, and they have no predators and they're eating everything. That's one thing that's bad. The other thing is like sometimes like environments just change. So let's not try and smash. Well, how they want to control bed bugs?
I don't know.
Like go one by one, squish.
So I guess
Squish.
the way that they killed the birds is they would beat drums so the birds wouldn't land and they die from exhaustion.
What?
What scientists looked this up?
And like, do you have to keep them in a closed area? Because can't the sparrow just like fly away from the drum?
I feel like the entire country was on board with this. And it was just
everybody's
beating drums.
Or maybe it was part of the millions of people that died.
They just forgot to eat, maybe. I don't know.
Sparrow nests were destroyed, eggs were broken, and chicks were killed. I just picture, like, what did they do? Did they get the chicks and drown them?
Yeah, probably.
In bathtubs?
Yeah.
This is dark.
In addition to these tactics, citizens also resorted to simply shooting the birds from the sky. These mass attacks depleted the sparrow population, pushing it to near extinction. Furthermore, contests were held among enterprises, government agencies, and schools in cleanliness, where they would receive rewards for killing dead rats, dead flies, mosquitoes, and sparrows. They would have to, like, hand in these carcasses to the government to prove how many they killed.
I've always said I wanted to like travel the world and like I think I could skip China. Like from what you've told me,
It's
and
cool,
from what
though.
I'm hearing now. I mean, is it like is it a place? Imagine like walking into like a 7-Eleven and someone's in there like handing in their dead sparrows for the week.
Here you go.
Or like you try to stay into a hotel. They're like, how many sparrows you got?
Yeah, how
do you
many
mean?
bed bugs did you kill this week? What's your count?
It's just
100?
Once you get spit on by an old lady there, you're pretty much it doesn't get much more shitty than that.
No, that doesn't sound good at
That
all.
doesn't sound like a vacation.
Not on purpose. Like I'm walking to work one day, and these two ladies are walking, taking a nice morning stroll with their hands, behind their backs, and this one lady like cocks her head back, goes, and spits all over my pants. Didn't even see me coming. Great.
Did she say anything?
In Chinese, but I don't know what she said.
Did it sound apologetic?
Not really. Like
I'd be very angry.
I would be very upset.
Yeah.
she probably did it on purpose.
Did you go take off did you have to like change your pants?
Yeah, I spun it around and went back to the apartment
I
and
think you'd
changed
have
my
to.
pants.
Yeah.
Jesus, imagine
That's a
like,
day ruiner.
I think of all things that like when I watch a movie and I see everybody at a bar like embracing, and it's like it's weird now because we've been so long of like you can't be with people, you can't do all that shit, and I think of that, and that's like, oh my god, like that's a personal attack. That's like taking out a gun and shooting at him in the leg.
Yeah. Similar.
So we're gonna do one more before we get into this. So
Okay.
I have a very cool story that I'm gonna follow up with this scratch ticket.
Okay.
So I was at a Cumberland Farms yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the Cumberland Farms getting an iced tea, as I do sometimes when I leave work and I'm on my way home. I have a long journey on the way home, so I stop and sometimes get a drink. I'm in the line, ready to pay. There's a lady up at. There's two registers open. The right register, this lady's right up at the counter, screaming at the guy behind the counter at Cumberland Farms. This guy is clearly like either not all there or brand new. And the whole thing that's going on is she wants to put $20 in her car for gas, and she wants to pay $2 in cash for this specific scratch ticket. How did I get it? We're going to get there.
So she wanted to cash in an unused scratch ticket and put it towards her gas?
No.
So you can't pay for a scratch ticket with a card.
You
right?
can't pay for a scratch ticket with your debit card. She went up there and she paid with her card for $20 in cash for her Toyota Camry out at Pump 6.
Okay.
And she also had $2 to give to him for this ticket, which was already out on the counter and rung up.
Okay.
But he didn't understand that, and there was some commotion, and another guy came over and tried to help this person, and this lady is starting to lose her shit. So finally, she just she throws the $2 because she knows it's a $2 scratch ticket. She takes the ticket. She goes outside. She like decides halfway to the thing, she's like, no, this is not sitting right with me. She comes back in, she throws the scratch ticket at the fucking guy, like over the plexiglass, throws it at the guy and just reaches in and grabs her $2 off the counter because they still hadn't figured it out. And she goes, I just want the gas, and like took her $2 and went back to her car. So I'm like, I need this scratch.
Yeah, yeah.
I need this.
gotta
This
swoop
scratch
in.
ticket left the place, came back, and then this guy's fucking fidgeting with it, and he's trying to get it back into the fucking holder, but he doesn't want to slip it all the way in because it's not in the roll anymore.
Right.
So he doesn't want to lose it. He wants to stick it right there, so he knows that the next one, the person that wants it, he can just get it right there. So he's fucking fidgeting forever, and I'm waiting in line. I'm the next person up now. I get up to the front. I don't have any cash on me. So I see him stick it in there, and he turns around to help the next guest, and the thing immediately comes out of the thing and falls to the
It
ground.
wants to get sold.
Falls to the ground. Next guy in his line, goes, I'd like a $2 scratch ticket. Goes right to the thing, rips another one off.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Rips another one off of the same roll. This one's sitting on the ground and no one sees it.
But you.
And I'm like, shit, I have no cash on me. And there's a lot of people in line. So I pay for my iced tea with because I pay with the Cumberland Farms app. So I never have to cash.
Can you
on
buy
me.
a scratch ticket with that?
No, you have to. It has to be cash. So I fucking run out of my car. I tear through my center console. I need $2 in quarters. I fucking get it. I run inside. I go, I'll take a $2 the snowman scratch ticket. He goes, I go, no. I want the one that's on the floor. He goes, the one that's on the floor. And he sees on the floor. He goes, okay, this is the winner? I go, this is the winner. So this is a $100,000 possible scratch ticket.
Wow.
I'm scratching it right here
Do
live.
it live.
Live. Hey, this
If
could
I
be
win, I'll buy you guys something nice.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
I was going to say we'll split it, but
Fresh
let's not
pair
get
of
carried
slacks.
away. So reveal a snowman symbol, win the prize. Reveal a gingerbread symbol, win $20. Automatically reveal an ornament symbol and win all 10 prizes. Sean.
So we want the ornament.
We want the
ornament is what
ornament.
we want.
No puzzles, no puzzles, no puzzles.
Fuck.
Snowman?
It's not good. It's a nutcracker.
That's nothing.
2. We got a gingerbread house.
Not a gingerbread man.
Fuck. No, it's not a gingerbread man.
Nutcrackers are haunting.
Yeah.
I have one in my
Fucking
house.
milk and cookies. Here we go. A fucking pastry. Oh, fuck.
Wait, so it has to be an ornament?
It has to be an ornament, you win everything. A gingerbread man, you win 20. A snowman, you win whatever prize is there.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, did you get? No, you didn't get it.
Did you scratch them
So
all?
I'm halfway through.
Okay, there's more.
Halfway through.
Halfway
It's
through.
5 more.
We got right now a nutcracker, a gingerbread house, milk and cookies, a pastry, and a scarf.
Okay.
Here we go. A cupcake. A skate. Fuck. Rudolph. 2 more. A fucking penguin. This is it.
Can we do it?
I don't think this.
I do. I have a good
This is
feeling.
not
I
going
have
to
a
be as
good feeling.
serendipitous as I thought. Come on.
It would have been awesome if you.
Imagine. Ah, fuck. Santa's sleigh. Oh, fuck yourself, lady.
You know, it'd be funny
Kept
if the
it.
guy in front of you won $100,000.
Yeah, if
the guy
nobody got off the roll.
I'm going to see on the news. Oh, man. All right. Well, welcome to the Average Nobodies podcast, number 103 for December the 11th.
11th.
2020, the year of our Lord.
Almost done.
Yeah, we're almost done. Although people keep saying, like, oh, I can't wait for 2020 to be done.
Right, like it's some switch is gonna get flipped.
When
That's
the clock
not why
rolls
this is happening.
Yeah, right. When the clock rolls over, it's still fucking the same reality you're living in. This is
Exactly.
not like fucking the multiverse of madness. We're not fucking switching over here.
No.
This is it. Let's do celebrities' birthdays.
Oh right.
Everybody's favorite game show.
Ooh, I gotta put myself on the list now.
We have a very special guest for this week's celebrity birthday. And what I mean by that is I mean that Ryan is doing the riddles, and Adam and I are going to be guessing. So maybe I have a chance this week. Hopefully Adam's worse than I am.
I wanted Adam to get in on the fun. I like some of us here like guessing.
I think that's a great
I like
idea.
guessing.
Yeah, so I figure I'll do some riddles. All right,
Riddle
Wait,
me
hold
this.
on. I gotta bring up the scorecard.
Riddle
It's too late.
me
We gotta do the
this.
recap too of the score.
that's true. So I'm
Son
gonna
of a
stay
bitch in
stagnant,
Excel.
or I could guess.
I guess it's Gwyneth Paltrow.
So I'm not gonna lie, not a great day.
No, not a good.
It's going to be a
celebrity
bad day
birthday.
for me.
I got
gotta tell you.
5. I got 5, and
I like 5.
2 of them you might not get.
That was something we haven't decided on. We just do random amounts of celebrities every week, right?
It's usually like I go with the ones that.
But I
are-
would hope if you get a good batch, you do them all, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
This isn't
oh,
a
yeah.
good batch.
Like if you got like the cast of The Outsiders on one day,
Oh my god.
you got to. Okay.
All right, the scorecard's not coming up, so just go ahead. Just as a recap, I have 0. Matt has a little more than 0,
Prepare for Adam to have more than me by the end of this.
and Ryan has a commanding lead.
Skyrocketing.
And this is our third
skyrocketing.
week of keeping track of it.
Third week of keeping track.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Good. I don't like the pregame. I don't like the preseason.
All right. Let's get started on celebrity birthdays. Ready?
Yep.
This actor might have had a career in the porno business had he not been cast as a boy's best friend in a popular 90s sitcom.
Say it again.
A boy's best friend in this 90s sitcom?
Yep. So this actor might have had a career in the porno business had he not been cast as a boy's best friend in a popular 90s sitcom.
Ugh.
Damn. So I'm trying to
like rifle through 90s
so
sitcoms.
a boy's best friend.
And the first thing's a really big hint.
The porno.
Porno?
Yeah.
So he was in a movie with a porn star, or he was in a movie about a porn star?
No.
Just a good name for a porn star?
Yeah.
And a boy's best friend.
Ryder Strong.
Yes.
Fuck.
Ryder Strong. It is his birthday today, whose middle name is King.
Wow.
Ryder
pretty
King
sweet.
Strong. I think that's what I'm going to go with for Babywood
Oh,
Fogarty.
a boy.
A boy. I was going to say In Boy Meets World, but I feel like that would be a giveaway.
Yeah.
I got it just based on the name.
Yeah.
Ryder Strong.
So Ryder Strong, also
so
known
good,
as Sean Hunter in Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
How old do we think Ryder Strong is today?
Fuck.
43.
Ryder Strong.
Just guess.
It's
Is
definitely a number.
45.
Ryder Strong is 41.
Oh, I almost went there.
Matt, you could have got that point.
Oh, shit.
So Adam with a strong start with 1.
On the board.
Matt still 0. All right. I'm going to hop around a little bit here. You might find this singer-songwriter shredding his guitar and hanging out with his crazy crew between the numbers 5 and 7.
Do it again.
You might find this singer-songwriter.
Nikki Six?
Correct.
Whoa, nice.
There we go.
Hey!
Nikki Six is.
How old is Nikki Six?
God damn, this is going to be a tough
Oh
one.
my God.
For those who don't know, the bass guitarist for Motley Crue.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, man.
It's like I wouldn't have got the number. It's
I don't know. 57, 55. No, 57 I'm sticking with.
57?
Yeah.
Adam?
62.
Nikki Six is 62.
Oh, my God. What the fuck? How the fuck?
I don't know. I just guessed.
I'm just real bad at guessing.
Oh, you got him. You got Nikki Six.
I mean, I got Nikki Six because it's a name. Like, you didn't know his birthday. You just guessed
No,
it.
I just guessed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was good. I wouldn't have guessed 62.
What would you have guessed? 63?
No, like 55. I don't know.
Oh, they're
Because I was
old.
trying to. Well, no, I mean.
I don't know how old they were.
And he
when
was.
they started.
I watched
but
that
he's-
movie, and like he was. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
he
he
is
was the
older.
oldest one.
But he's not as old as like Bret Michaels is older than like the Motley Crue guys. Like that whole like Poison is older than them.
I don't know. How old is Bret Michaels?
I think there's like there's stages. Like Aerosmith and them are like the top end
Yeah.
now of like
But
old.
so I feel like for Nikki Six, 62 seems old.
Bret
He was in
Michaels is
80s.
younger than Nikki Six.
Is he really?
Yeah.
He looks 1,000.
He's 57.
Ever since that stroke, he hasn't looked good.
He had a stroke. Hey, remember the
Didn't he
Rock
get into
to
a
Love?
horrible
That show was
motorcycle
awesome.
crash?
He got into a really bad motorcycle. People are at the time where he had the stroke. People were thinking that he wears the bandana because he's hiding all these like fucking like they had to transplant his brain underneath it. So that's like
Like Joe, it's a wig and his skull infused with the wig like in Joe Dirt.
yeah,
Jesus.
exactly.
All right. This is an easy one, so it's going to be whoever gets it first.
Okay.
Although he may not be the biggest, this pro wrestler and multi-time champion makes up for
Mysterio.
it. Yes, with his high-flying
All right,
style.
all right.
I had to go for it.
Mysterio, yeah.
Rey Mysterio is. Fuck. He's 50. I feel like that's old.
48.
Rey Mysterio is 46
Ooh.
today. The master of the 619.
619.
Booyaka, booyaka. All right, 2 more. This singer/actress is a friend of Spider's and has shown some true grit in the past, but is probably best known for her
Haley Steinfeld?
pitch-perfect singing voice. It is
Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld.
Whoa.
Wow.
Hey, somebody showed up today.
Have a day, Matt. He's back. How old is Haley Steinfeld?
Oh, God.
This goes back to your talk last week where you don't know if they're 4 or 35.
Yeah. She came on early. I'm gonna say she's 26.
Okay.
23.
Fuck. See, I wanted to go really young.
Haley Steinfeld is 24.
Oh, right
Close.
there.
See, now she was in. So she's also in.
She was in Into the
Hawkeye.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
be
she's
in
in the
Hawkeye,
Hawkeye
right?
show.
Right? She did the voice in Into the Spider-Verse for Gwen.
Did she?
Yes, I think.
I'm sure you
That's what it
looked
said
it
on-
up.
See, that was the one that
I'm
that was
asking,
the one
but I
that threw
know.
me off. But when you said
A Friend of Spiders.
I was
know she
thinking
was in True
Zendaya, but like she wasn't in True
no,
Grit.
but what was the whole riddle you gave? Because the spider one wasn't the one that got me.
I said the singer-actress is a friend of Spiders
True
and
Grit.
has
You
shown
said
some
True
True
Grit.
Grit in the past.
True Grit was it.
And she's
Yeah.
also in Pitch Perfect.
Hey, last time we had Jeff Bridges too.
I was going to try to work that in, but it was getting too wordy.
I liked it.
So this is the last one. I'm not going to lie. This one is primarily for Justine. I don't know if you guys are going to get this one because I wouldn't know her name. Okay. This EGOT winner,
boy. I'm out.
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony,
There's not
and
many.
Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient was born a shark in the west side of Puerto Rico and doesn't mind singing in the rain.
It's a woman.
Yes.
Is she the? She plays opposite of Cary Grant. Not Cary Grant. Who the Singing in the Rain?
She's in Singing in the Rain.
She's not.
She's not. I don't believe she's the lead.
No fucking idea.
I have no idea.
No.
I'll guess her age though.
It's Rita Moreno.
Oh, I have no idea who that is.
So
sorry,
she's
everybody.
in West Side Story, Singing in the Rain, The King and I.
Okay.
She's an EGOT winner.
What did she win the Oscar for?
I don't know.
She's an EGOT winner. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So Rita Moreno, she's been around for quite a while.
I was just gonna look her up for what she had an Oscar for, but I'm not going to
She
because I don't want to see
is-
the age. Is she alive?
She's alive.
Okay.
She's 75. It's probably on the younger side.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go 81.
Rita Moreno was 89,
Oh God.
Damn.
and she won for Best Supporting Actress for something.
All right, let's do the updated points.
Rita Moreno. Yeah. So the updated point standing. Ryan's sitting out this week, but he is still has a commanding lead of 7. Matt making some progress, up from 1.5 to 4.5.
Let's go.
And I'm on the board with 2.
But one of those is a strong 2.
Which one?
An age, guessing an age.
That is good.
That's very
is a
impressive.
strong point.
Especially when you didn't get the person.
Right. It's a strong point.
So Rita Moreno won Best Supporting Actress for West Side Story in 1961.
Aren't they like doing a new one
Yeah.
with Ansel
I
Elgort?
was gonna say Scorsese. No. Who's
I
doing
don't
it?
think Scorsese's doing it.
It's.
I don't know.
Hold on, I'll look it up. Are you Adam? You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Some things. I mean, the original West Side Story is wonderful. I don't think you need.
Yeah,
to.
so Spielberg is doing the new one
Spielberg, right.
with Ansel Elgort is in it.
I have the original one on Netflix.
Whoa.
It's a very good movie.
How do you spell? Oh, Rita Moreno. Sorry, never mind. Apparently Rita Moreno is going to be in it.
Good for her.
As,
Wheel her out
as
there?
Valentina. Wheeler.
She can still dance.
89?
Yeah.
89.
If she can dance 89, that's good. That's good. All right.
Hey, well done, Ryan.
Thank you.
Well
that was
done.
fun.
That was good.
It's fun doing riddles.
Matt, do you want to try to do one next time?
I'll do one. Do you want to do that rotation?
Yeah.
That way it will be even for points too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way Ryan can mop the floor with me next week.
Perfect. I will do them next week. All right. What have we been watching? I'll start.
Start
Because
us
it's
off.
very short. I've been watching Always Sunny. Continuing that.
What are some of the
So
hit me with
it's
the
the
highlights of
whole
the
it's the
episodes.
whole like episodes surrounding when Dennis leaves for North Dakota and the gang goes outside and
so
blows
like-
up
so
his
the
Range
newer
Rover.
ones?
yeah.
So I was fucking dying. I hadn't seen this episode or I forgot about it. I thought I had watched up like through this section because I was watching towards the end where I had missed some. And I went back and started on episodes where I thought I had seen them. But some of them I remember, some of them I don't. When he comes back and Frank is at the Range Rover dealership and he decides that he's going to buy he's going to buy himself the Range Rover, but he doesn't have his license.
Yeah.
And Dennis has to buy the Prius.
Yep.
And some guy jumps in his car and he's like, because he thinks he's
He's
an
an
Uber.
driver.
And then later on, after he befriends this guy, and then he finds out that he has a Range Rover. He's like, I have an old gas guzzler. I think I'm just gonna like get it scrapped.
And like Dennis, like he's like, I'm just gonna be a regular guy now at the regular car. He joins a fantasy baseball league.
Yeah. And then he goes in the garage and sees the Range Rover, and he goes, transaction is complete. Go, be gone, be gone,
be gone. He go like a cuck or something that.
Yeah. He's the fucking best. Dennis Reynolds is an top tier comedic character.
Oh my god!
All TV shows, top tier. He's a fucking sociopath.
And big congrats to Sonny for getting four new seasons.
Love it.
Season
And they'll
18.
get just another 4 seasons where they'll be snubbed. Maybe until like they announce their final season, they'll finally give them the due
Ridiculous.
they deserve. And then the when they do the girls do Boggs.
Oh yeah, that's a funny one.
That's a sneaky funny one. I mean, the original Boggs
is all time.
Great.
Is one of the best episodes, but I've been just enjoying going back and watching that. I finished Murder on Middle Beach.
Yes.
Did you finish it as
I
well?
did.
What'd you think?
Well, it's funny. So at first I was disappointed, but then I'm like, well, this isn't like a show. Like it's real life. Yeah. So, but it was like extremely well done. I mean, it just stunk that like they still haven't solved it.
Yeah.
I was hoping, because I think we're also spoiled with like how the Jinx ended.
Yeah.
And
well, we were talking about it last week. I said that I think that I made the joke that HBO commits these crimes so they can solve them. Like,
right.
Obviously, that's a joke. But they have so many great cases, like in documentaries like that, where they have the answers to a lot of these things. Like the McMillions documentary is fantastic for that. They have all the people, the characters. But then you have Murder on Middle Beach, where, spoiler alert, they leave you with a little, they leave you with mystery because it hasn't been solved.
Yeah.
So, but I liked it. Again, I thought it was, like you said, I think it was really well done. And HBO obviously did a really good job with it. So
yeah, and it must have been so. Like I can't imagine like your mom gets murdered, and then you're trying to put the pieces together for this documentary. You haven't seen any of it, right?
No.
So
you can go ahead and.
Well, I won't. There's really nothing to spoil. I mean, it's just. But like the son.
You'd still want to see it.
Yeah, the son is running the documentary, and he's only interviewing like his family members about it. Mm-hmm. But he's also trying to like rule them out as suspects at the same time.
And also, he's balancing this. Like the biggest thing I was like, every time I like see him interview someone, I'm like, or he's like videotaping or recording somebody that doesn't know they're being recorded. Eventually, they're gonna see this, and he has to deal with that too because he's thinking about it. He's like, and then at the end, like in the last episode, he's calling up his family members and explaining to them like, hey, like you're not gonna look great in some of this. Like, just wanted to give you a heads up.
Yeah, because his dad was like the main suspect.
Oh shit!
Because so his parents were divorced, and his dad wouldn't pay child support, wouldn't pay alimony. The morning his mom was murdered, they had a court hearing, and the mom, through her lawyer, was going to request that the dad be sent to jail until he paid like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh shit! And then she
ends up dead.
Turned up dead.
Yeah, and there was this whole thing where they think that somebody called her and told her the court date time was changed that day, so she would be home.
Oh shit!
And the dad is super secretive. He's like, I can't tell you anything about it.
Yeah, and he gets like super clamped up.
And the son's like, just tell me you didn't have anything to do with it. He's like, I can't discuss it.
Yeah, it's such a fucking weird.
It's like gives you like the chills kind of.
But in the first episode they discuss all of that, and then they take you on 2 more episodes where you think that it's at least 2 other family members.
Yeah, maybe it was
you're
the son.
convinced. That'd be a twist.
I don't think he was there though. Right?
Yeah, he wasn't there, but that'd be a twist. It was the son's producer, the producer on the documentary.
Yeah, it was HBO all along.
So I watched Murder on Middle Beach. Adam, I took your recommendation last week or the week before, and I watched The Cabin. Right?
Oh yeah, with
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
So funny, such a cool show.
So good. I watched the whole thing. There's only 5. Yeah, I'll have another one. Yeah, there's only 5 episodes, right? Or 6.
Yeah,
episodes,
there's only 5 or 6 episodes.
They're short.
Yeah,
half hour.
And they fly by.
So it's essentially like I think you explained it before in the podcast. It's Bert Kreischer during the pandemic. He rented this cabin in the middle of the Hollywood Hills, like in the middle of nowhere, and it's like this
sick
rustic
cabin,
really sick cabin. And he invites like I think that usually it's two celebrities, comedians or celebrities to come up with him and like stay. But it's not. It's a lot of him just bullshitting and doing stuff that he would just want to do on his own, like he's drinking and fucking and
smoking cigars,
eating
crazy
cigars,
foods,
eating food,
getting super high.
But also each one is like a different. There's like a different overarching like theme to it, which is really fucking cool. The way he ties it in, you wouldn't expect him and like the cast of characters he's with to be able to like tie it in.
Right, like they talk about like their family life and like racial issues and stuff like that. So there's like even though it's a comedy show, there's like a message in there somewhere.
Yeah, like they do it like for an example, they do an episode on like the body. Like they talk about like,
Yeah.
how they can like improve your body and stuff. And they have Nikki Glazer and Caitlyn Jenner
Yeah.
on, and which is obviously coming from her, an amazing backstory in her life. Nikki Glazer, just a comedian and stuff, but I mean, she had a lot of good things to input too. But I thought that was an interesting, like he invited different characters, and it was just funny too because he just had like all his friends too. Like Tom, the first episode I watched was him, Tom Segura,
I don't know what the other guy's name is.
Joey Diaz,
Yeah.
right?
Is that his name? Yeah.
Joey Diaz.
That guy's insane.
Joey Diaz is.
They were
hilarious.
hysterical
I fucking love him.
together.
and they were awesome. Like the first thing he was like, I wanted. It was an emu, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I called up like we're gonna cook something on the grill, and they kept like busting like talking about Joe Rogan, how Joe Rogan always does like he always has like pictures of elk and like he's cutting. So he's like, we're gonna do this emu, we're gonna field dress it ourselves, and they didn't realize it was just gonna be like it was an emu dead in a cooler
With all of its like
with all the
its
feathers,
bones
the legs.
snapped up so it could fit in the cooler.
So Bert's like carrying it over his shoulders over to like the area where they're gonna get it, and they have like chainsaws and they're like they don't show like them hacking it up.
Right.
It's hilarious. They're in like hazmat suits.
They do some of it, and then like somebody shows up like, "Hey, I'm here to dress the emu." Oh
It's
wow!
good. It's good. It's really funny. Some of it's like very campy and like kind of cringy. Where like Bert is like FaceTiming with his wife back home, and it's like clearly scripted. Where
Yeah,
she's not,
yeah.
I mean, she's not a comedian or an actor, so it's like okay,
That's kinda
I
hard,
get
yeah.
it. But Bert is hilarious, and I think that all the characters. He has Anthony Anderson goes up one episode.
I thought the one with Joel McHale and Kaylee Cuoco and that woman Miss Pat.
Miss Pat.
So Miss Pat was hilarious, but I thought Joel and Kaylee would be better. But like I think she just got when they did the whiskey tasting that one. I think she just got shit faced and had to go home.
Kaylee
Really?
Coco got shit faced. Yeah, and they just like laughed. But Miss Pat was hilarious.
She was very funny.
So funny. She was like a good sport. She rode the line where like you'd think like someone like her wouldn't want to do any of the shit.
Yeah.
But she rode the way she was a good sport with it and did everything. And she was very funny. But anyway, The Cabin on Netflix. It's very good.
I'll have to check it out. Because,
And you can watch it in like one sitting.
Yeah.
Super
I watched
quick.
it one night. Yeah. Half-hour episodes, right?
Yeah.
Half-hour episodes, yeah. It's easy. And then the last thing, it's not something I've been watching, but it's something I've been listening to. It's called this podcast called Cold. All right, any of you guys ever heard of it?
No.
Familiar with it? Okay. It's a murder. It's a
true crime.
true crime murder show. It covers the case from this guy in Utah, Josh Powell. Are you guys familiar with that name?
Nope.
Okay. So back in the early aughts, like into the, I think 2012 is when the shit hit the fan. But this guy, he lives in Utah. He has a wife, 2 kids. One night, the dad and the 2 kids go camping with them, but not with the mom. And then the next day, the mother's missing, in the deserts of Utah, and it was a big snowstorm, and it was like all this weird shit. But anyway, it's this documentary. It picks up. They tell you right off the bat. They explain to you the crime and what happened, right? And I'm not going to get too far into it because if you guys want to listen to it, I highly recommend it.
So it's a podcast?
It's a podcast. It's so good. I could not stop listening to it this week. So even though you can look up and see what, and he tells you out front the ending of it, but it's so fascinating. This is like what I was saying, like HBO, like they commit these crimes. This is like, so this guy, his wife goes missing, but the whole storytelling aspect of it is just ramped up to 1,000,000 because this guy, his father, and to an extent his wife that went missing, they kept journal entries and audio recordings and video camera tapes from everything. So it's basically them telling the story. It is fascinating.
Just like their daily life?
This guy was like he was just like, he was definitely a little strange. And very not empathetic to anyone, very just cold person. And he grew up in a weird house. His dad was a really fucking weird guy. But they just had this weird thing where they had to record everything. So he would write in physical journals and scan them and save them to his computer. His dad did the same thing. Him and his dad both video recorded everything. So they had tapes after the police seized all this shit. The dad had this weird obsession with the son's wife. A fucking, I don't want to go deep into it because it's fucked up. It's so fucking good. And it just it's not just someone talking to you and reciting shit. They interview the police, the detectives. He does all research on like the kids' daycare people, the child protective services people that got involved. Everybody, the
How old are the
co-workers. Kids were 5 and 3, I think. So, and I mean the whole story is that in 2009, the mother goes missing. From then until 2012, the father is just like, he's like trying to evade police, like not evading police, but like trying to like throw people off the scent. They can't find her. They do all this. There's some evidence, but it doesn't link to this guy. And then there's like this custody fight over the kids. And then one day, the father kills the kids and kills himself. 2012.
Oh man.
Kills him. Yeah, it's fucking terrible like story. And then like the whole like the this guy Josh Powell, who did all this shit, his like father's in on it, and then he goes to jail for child pornography, and the sister is like estranged from the family and trying to help the family of the wife that went missing, and then his other siblings are like basically like in on it and like trying, like you think they're in on it and like trying to help him get out of like, it's fucking crazy. So
That's
Cold.
Cold. Okay.
It's unbelievable. You won't be able, I think the episodes are usually around an hour each, but if you're listening, looking for a new podcast, I can't recommend it enough. Cold.
I'll have to give it a try.
Unbelievable.
It sounds very sad. But.
It's super sad, but like you won't believe, like usually when you listen to a true crime podcast, you're not getting like a lot of firsthand accounts. You're doing like this guy will be like, and Josh was in the police interrogation room, and the police obviously they have recordings from that all became public record, so they have that.
Oh, so
and
it's
they
not
hear,
just
Josh
like
be like, I don't know if we were gonna like, I don't know if we were going camping that night, or I don't know if we had this or that, and who and when was the last time I talked to her, and then right after that, the guy will be like, well, we know that's a lie from this recording from his diary on January 1st, 2009 at 6:39 a.m. I'm like, holy fuck, this guy kept detailed records of everything. It's nuts, and the wife did as well. It's crazy. So anyway,
interesting.
from when he was a kid, so you have like his backstory too, like his upbringing and like all these journal nuts. Like I can't even imagine how much time it took to go through all that.
How do you keep a diary for that? It seems like too much work.
He scanned every piece of paper that he had, like receipts, everything.
Jesus.
Saved on his computer.
Yeah, so he's a weirdo.
Yeah.
No,
Definitely
clearly.
Weirdo. Anyway, Cold. It's fucking awesome.
I'll go next. I've got a very short list. So I watched. Well, actually, first I went and. Did you know that it was Mos Def's birthday today too?
Really? Oh, maybe I didn't recognize the name.
Yeah, he goes
Yassine
by
Bey?
Yassine Bey now.
Yeah, that's probably why.
So shout out Mos Def.
Happy birthday.
So I've got a very small list here. I watched the Christmas Chronicles, the first one with Kurt Russell. Pretty funny. I thought it was, it's like a stereotypical Christmas movie. I was like, have you guys seen that?
No.
Is that part of the Netflix?
No. I haven't seen it. It could be.
So they're in, it takes place in Chicago, most of the story. And first of all, well, Kurt Russell was an awesome Santa Claus. Awesome Santa Claus. That beard, perfect. And one of the funny things about it is they ask him to do ho ho ho, and he's like, I don't ho ho ho. And he's like, why aren't you fat? I'm like, I'm not fat. I'm in good shape. You got to be in good shape to do what I do. And it was really it's a kids movie. It was really well done though. But so they're in Chicago, and Santa loses his hat and his sack of presents, and he's going around. It's actually really cool. One of his, I guess, powers is he knows everyone's name, and he knows. So he walks into a bar and he talks to the hostess like he knows her because he does, and he does that with a ton of people. It's really funny how they do that, and so at one point the cops are after them because he's trying to find his sleigh back and whatever, and the actor that plays Winston in New Girl is a cop in Chicago in this movie. Yeah, it was pretty funny. He's got a small part
Because he's from Chicago and New Girl too.
Yeah, he wasn't named Winston. It was
Winnie
Nick
the
Miller
Dish.
was his name actually. I'm just kidding. So yeah, that was pretty good. I'll probably watch the second one, and they had the Goldie Hawn reveal as Mrs. Claus at the end. No Rudolph though, which was a jip. I was pissed about that. How do you not get Rudolph in there? So maybe they roll him in the second one.
So how does he get around?
Is there a
Does
second
he
one?
have reindeer?
Yeah, he's got the other 8 reindeer.
Well, isn't like Rudolph not part of like?
So that like
Kind of
we
like
were
an
talking about
outcast.
that. Yeah, we were talking about that. Like that
Heads
sort
are-
of
heads
blew
are-
my
heads
mind.
are
I was just
coming
like,
here,
Rudolph's
done
just
it.
part of the
Let's-
crew.
Yeah, but when in Jingle All the Way,
He doesn't get
when-
called up to the ranks until they need him.
Yeah, but
So like on not foggy nights, does he sit it out? You know what I mean?
yeah, probably.
he
He
gets
probably
the
had
night off?
one. He probably had one good year, and that was it.
That was it.
Set him.
Rode off into the
He's
sunset.
like a running back in the
Oh,
NFL.
the elves figured out the fog problem in the North Pole.
Right.
But in Jingle All the Way, when Arnold Schwarzenegger is running down the street, like reciting the names of the reindeer,
Yeah.
he doesn't say Rudolph.
No, he does it.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Donner, Blitzen.
So aggressive.
Also, every year, like around Christmas time, Jen and I rewatch the Harry Potter movies. I love those motion pictures, and I recently like finished reading all the books, and they were really good too. I even read The Cursed Child, which was entertaining, but it's like fan service,
Let's talk about how much she hates transgender people.
She does not mention that in The Cursed
Maybe
Child.
maybe that's the next one.
I think that's only on Twitter.
So I really haven't been watching much lately because I read this series of crime novels by an author named Joe Nesbo that I know I've mentioned on here before, and it's about a detective it's fiction. It's about a detective in Norway named Harry Hole, and it's
Harry Hole.
Harry Hole, Hole is how it's written, but I guess it's like a really common last name in Norway, and it's pronounced Hole, even though when I'm reading it I say Hole.
Ole.
And he's basically like your typical sort of detective that's brilliant, doesn't play by the rules, like alcoholic, maniac guy, like a really, I don't know. He's basically like a Sherlock Holmes type. And so there's 12 books in the series, and today I finished reading the 12th book.
Are you listening or reading?
Actually reading. I've actually read all of these, which is
I don't
I'm
care.
pretty
I'm
proud
just-
of myself.
I'm just for the people listening.
Yeah.
So I've read a lot of other books, and but I started reading them 4 years ago, and I've read a lot of other ones, in between that too. But I love this series, and I finished it today, and I'm very, I guess this is sort of a spoiler. If you get to book 12, there's probably going to be a book 13. Like he makes it. This whole time, reading the 12th book, I was like really worried that he wasn't going to make it out of it in typical Harry fashion, but he pulls another rabbit out of his hat. And like with these books, they're like 400 to 500 pages long, and without fail, every single time, I cannot put the thing down for the last 150, 200 pages. It's like nonstop. Like I think I figured it out, but I didn't. I think I didn't figure it out, but I didn't. But this one, I actually figured this one out like with that 150 pages left, even though like they weren't leading you to it. But I just I don't know.
So do you think ahead to try to figure it out?
Of course I try to figure out who it is.
Oh, I don't.
Why? That's the whole point.
No.
You try to figure out who it is.
No, I just go along for the ride.
But at the very end, Harry saves the day, and he's his whole it's way too many books to get into the trenches here, but at the end of the book, it's like he's sitting in the airport and he has he doesn't know what to do because at this point he's presumed dead, but a few people know he's alive. So he's at the airport and he could either go be with a woman who has his child, but was with someone else, and that person has died, and he doesn't officially know it's his child, but he knows. You know what I mean? She hasn't told him, but he knows. Or another woman that came back from book 8 that he was with for just that one book and helped him with his most recent case, but she works for the Red Cross, so she went off to disaster support. So he'd go with her. It's those are his two options. And then he's really fucked up because something terrible happens to his family in book 12.
Oh, no.
He's or I could just stay in Norway and drink myself to death. So it's one of those. And the killer in this book, one of his things is he rolls a die to make a decision on what he's gonna do, and after he catches him, he takes the die, and he rolls the die to figure out what he's gonna do next, and then end of book. So I don't know what's gonna happen next.
So is there a 13th book or is it coming?
So I don't know. The author just came out with another book, and It's a one-off though. It's not part of the Harry Hole saga, but I would imagine so. They're super popular. But yeah, I love these books, and just the author. I think the author is so good, and he's actually one of his books is being brought to HBO. It's going to be a show. The book is called The Sun, and Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be in it, and Denis Villeneuve is going to direct it.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like praying that it goes well, so they can adapt some of the Harry Hole stories
So this
to
is
an
not
HBO
this is
show.
not a Harry Hole
No,
book
no,
that they're adapting. Okay.
no. But it like takes place in Oslo, Norway, where they're where the Harry Hole books happen.
Very
but
good.
like that movie, The Snowman, with Michael Fassbender, was based on one of the books, and like
Heard that was terrible, right?
I was so excited to go see it, and like honestly, Matt, I was Superman Returns level disappointed in the theater.
I gotta go back and look at this. The Snowman.
I was so fucking
I'm
mad.
not gonna lie, the trailer was bad.
But like,
yes.
so
It didn't look good.
they didn't film something like 40% of the script because the studio like
an odd
rushed them
choice.
through production. You know what I mean?
Studio don't care about no books unless it's Stephen King,
Yeah.
I guess.
But so I'm really
Oh,
hoping
interesting.
that show The Sun does well, so they adapt more of this saga to HBO because it would be awesome.
Mikey.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that'd be sweet, especially with Jakey G in there.
And like the Snowman was the one. I think that's like the 7th book in the series, and like book 12 was really good, but from like 7 to 11, those books were incredible. Like the 9th book is called The Phantom, so if, like I know 12 books is a fucking tall order
That's
to
a
get
lot.
through. All like 300, 400, 500 pages. That's a tall
Yeah.
order. For me, maybe not for like Holly or Justine. They'll probably do that in a weekend.
Yeah, Holly reads a book a day, like almost.
Right, but
That's wild.
like I've never been I like my fucking jaw dropped in The Phantom when like I couldn't believe it. Like the fucking twists and turns, and it's so extreme. I get so excited talking about these books, but nobody I know reads them. So somebody out there, read these fucking books so I can talk to you about them.
Hey,
All right, that's it.
Speaking
Ryan,
of books,
what do you got? Oh,
speaking
sorry.
of books, I got. I started Ready Player 2.
Oh, how is it?
I think I told you.
Yeah, you said it like
about
picks up immediately.
picks up immediately where it left off. I love it so far.
All right.
It has all. I mean, here's the thing. It has all the same shit. The reason why I love Ready Player 1.
Right.
It's
Can't
fucking-
reinvent the
it's
wheel.
Video games. It's 80s nostalgia. It's. I mean, that's all. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's so, in that way, it's perfect. It's a perfect book. So I mean, I'm not really like deep into like the struggles yet, but I'm not gonna give. I don't want to say anything for you.
No, I'll probably
because I know you'll read it. So
The next book I'm reading is The Sun by Joan Nesbo, the one that's going to be the HBO show, and then after that I was planning on buying Ready Player 2
when did Dune get pushed till?
next year, like this time next year.
So I got time now to read your book.
Finally,
What did
got time. Do
buy?
you still have it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Ryan. What are you
Yes.
watching?
Last week I teased the NCCU.
Yes, you did.
Got dozens of letters to my home from rabid fans imploring me to
For people that
expand
don't
on
know,
it. Yeah. So it's the Netflix Christmas Cinematic Universe.
I hate it.
Or it could be the Netflix Cinematic Christmas Universe. It's not an official thing. It's like it's a thing that, fans online have created. And there's a bunch of movies. So I've seen 4 of them so far. And
Are they all out this year, or is it something? that's been going
no,
on for
this has been
years?
happening for years. So I watched A Christmas Prince, which is what spawned this entire universe,
I hate it.
and A Christmas Prince: The Royal Wedding.
I hate it. I hate it.
And they're bad. They're not good. Those 2 I didn't like. And we were texting with Justine because Justine and Holly have watched them. Justine, Holly, and Jess Keller text about them all the time because of how campy and terrible they are. And I was texting with Justine. And I'm like, the main character, the prince. Obviously, he's like a royal prince.
Of course.
And then it's just your everyday journalist trying to get a scoop.
Yes, of course.
They have no chemistry. It's so bad. It's
How old
terrible.
are they supposed to be?
I would say in their mid-20s.
Okay.
Mid to early 20s, but they have no chemistry. It's awful. I just don't. I don't get it. So I didn't really like those ones, but I did like the Princess Switch and the Princess Switch Switched Again. So that's Vanessa Hudgens has entered the NCCU.
So you've watched 4 NCCU movies this
Yes.
week? Oh
No,
my
not
gosh.
no. This is over probably the last couple weeks.
Okay.
But Vanessa Hudgens she's like a very good actress. I like her, but her accent is So she's supposed to have like a British accent, and she plays both roles in the Princess Switch. So she plays like her normal. She owns like a bake shop. Like she just does like.
So she's a princess
like,
that has the bake shop?
No, so she owns a bake shop, and then there's a princess. So she goes to this like international baking competition overseas, and the princess is also played by Vanessa Hudgens.
Okay.
And the princess just wants to have like a normal weekend. You know,
That's
she
it.
doesn't want to be a princess. So since they're identical, they switch spots, but they end up falling in love with
each other.
not with each other. Like
They're dogs.
the princess falls in love with the normal baking helper.
Okay.
And then normal Vanessa Hudgens falls in love with the prince.
Ooh.
Vanessa Hudgens hasn't aged out of this shit yet.
I know, right?
I thought, isn't she like 40 now?
No. She was in High School Musical. She's not that old. No, she's very good.
Obviously, Zac
But
Efron is
what you're
aged out of
describing
it.
to me is like a teenager role.
Right.
No, not really. So again, this is like the our age, maybe a little younger.
Netflix does this weird thing where they buff up young kids anyway.
Yeah,
Make them look like they
they do.
Buff.
But like, I mean, in the
Buff 'em
Princess
up. Well,
Switch,
I walk in, Lindy's watching a fucking Netflix movie, and about this guy, the boys I loved before, right? Dear the boys I loved before.
I haven't seen that one.
I don't know. To all the boys I've loved before.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, how old is this kid? And Lindy's like, they're in high school. I'm like, there's no way this fucking kid is in high school. He looks like fucking Hugh Jackman from Wolverine. He looks like this kid is 40 years old.
Yeah.
And this kid's in high school? No.
Yeah, there's some shows like when you really like sit down and think about it, like I'm really supposed to believe. There's always when I see a meme floating around on Instagram sometimes, and it's a screenshot of like Danny Zuko's crew from Greece, and it's got an arrow pointing to one guy. It's like I'm supposed to believe this 40-year-old man is in high school. He's so old.
Greece is the biggest offender of them all.
Yeah.
So this one, I will say, in the Disney one, they're like they're professional. They've went to college, have their own business or whatever. So they're not trying to play him off as like high school.
Okay.
So it's not that crazy.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting. I don't know. I
The Princess switched again.
switched again. And then so there's a Christmas Prince, the Royal Wedding, and now there's a trilogy, A Christmas Prince, the Royal Baby. I haven't seen that one yet.
How
Okay.
long do you think it takes to film these movies?
Oh my god.
I can't imagine more than like 10 days.
Really.
Yeah.
Just run through them.
I
Yeah.
picture that like their agents run up to the actors on like the last day of shooting. They're like, "Hey, we can just roll right into the next one if you guys want to keep going." It's like this is day 3. We're done with this one. Okay.
So I will say for the
Did they film us while we were asleep?
for the Christmas Prince and the Christmas Prince or the Christmas Prince, the Royal Wedding.
Yeah.
In the first Christmas Prince, the journalist, her dad is just like this unassuming, like owns like a bagel shop in New York. Like she calls him on the phone, check in. In the sequel, he's this New Yorker, like, hey, how you doing? What's going on over here? He has this huge role. He ends up being named like the Lord of like the entire country. It's such a switch. It's like a different actor. But I don't know who between the original and the sequel were like, we need more of the dad. We got to get like this guy with a really, really thick New York accent, and he just like takes over the movie. And it doesn't fit in with the theme or like everything else that's happening. Everything else is very subdued and like subtle. And then his dad walks in, and he's like, "Hey, who are you? What are you, the Lord of Pembroke or something? Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, what is happening? But it's pretty entertaining. So anyway, anyone out there who has some time to kill over the holidays,
Okay.
the NCCU has plenty of movies out there for you.
I gotta see if Lindy's watching these because Lindy
She
does
must
is
be.
watch this type of stuff on Netflix.
Yeah.
She probably knows all this stuff.
She must be. On to better things. Watch The Undoing on HBO.
Yeah. What's that?
Nicole Kidman, Hugh Grant, Noah Jupe.
You know what's funny? I saw a picture for some reason of like young Nicole Kidman and Thomas Cruise when they were together.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh my god! And like, she was a babe back in the day, and now she just looks like she's
looks fake.
wearing a Nicole Kidman mask
Yeah.
over her face.
It's like they stretched it out over her bones.
Sorry, go ahead.
Really, really good. So it's a limited series, 6 episodes. No like season 2.
There
no.
commercials?
It's one story, no commercials. Limited commercials. So it's Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant are married.
Okay.
Noah Jupe is their son. He's from. He played Shia LaBeouf in his.
Okay,
Bio
I
film.
gotcha.
Yeah, he was really good. So the story is Hugh Grant and Nicole Kidman are married. They live in like They're like upper class in New York. And this mysterious woman enters their lives and ends up dead. So then it's like this, the story is basically trying to figure out what happened to her, and there's like a bunch of different twists and turns. And I will say, like, the plot itself ends up being pretty straightforward, but I like the way they got to it.
Okay.
I thought it was done very well. I would highly recommend it. It's only 6 episodes. You don't have to worry about, latching on for another season. It was very good.
So I've seen this, the poster for this show before. And, like, I recognize Nicole Kidman, and then I'm, like, trying to put my finger, like, I didn't read it, you know what I mean? I see it, so I didn't know who was in it, but I was like, oh, Nicole Kidman's in it. And I like, who the hell is this guy? Like, you're supposed to tell me that this fucking guy, that's Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
That does not look like Hugh Grant. That looks like the dad from Riverdale. That does not fucking look like Hugh Grant.
Luke Perry?
Not Luke, sorry, Betty's dad. Oh, the one that ends up being a murderer.
I don't know who the hell's the dad from Riverdale. I don't know.
Luke Perry was one.
Yeah, he was one of them.
I
But
don't have
like,
to worry about him anymore.
that does not look like Hugh Grant. They really churched him up for that picture.
Well, he's old now.
How old is he?
He's his age. I don't know, probably 50. Hey, who knows? Birthday could be coming up. But they're all 3 of them are really good in it. I really like the mystery woman, although she's not in it for that long, obviously, because she gets murdered. But
Did you feel fulfilled by the ending?
yes,
Okay.
I did.
I see a lot of mixed things. I saw this like big buildup where everybody loved it, and then I saw like maybe not a 50-50, but I saw some people that didn't enjoy it.
Edgar Ramirez is in it?
Yeah, he's one of the cops.
Oh, my God. What a beautiful accent this man has.
He does.
Beautiful accent.
He does. He just makes me want to like be a matador or something. But yeah, I was fulfilled by the ending. I think it was too straightforward for people. Like, people want it to be like, no, it was actually this character who's in that one shot from the premiere that you didn't catch on to. It's like, no, it's like gonna be one of the main people who do it. But
I
thought the way
I
thought the way they got to it was good. Also watched Sound of Metal
Oh, yeah. I want to
with
see
Riz
that.
Ahmed.
We looked at that trailer, right? One
Yes.
weekend there.
Yeah, it's on Prime. Really, really good. I thought it was really good, and I liked it because it's like a movie that, or a plot that you don't normally see. So you don't see a lot of stuff about like the deaf community or people losing their hearing, and like basically how that like affects them mentally. And he was basically in every single scene of the movie.
Okay.
And he was awesome.
So I remember you texted me after you watched it. You said you'd be surprised if he didn't get nominated for an Oscar.
100%.
Okay.
Because it's just one of those things, like he's playing a guy with a disability. So he's these aren't spoilers. He's a reformed drug addict who's like on the road with his girlfriend, who's like the lead singer, and he plays the drums, and he's losing his hearing. Mm-hmm. And that's the only way they know how to make money. That's the only thing to them that like keeps their relationship going. And he's like doesn't want to admit it. But like the journey he goes on and the journey, like their relationship, it's a very good movie. It's very simple, like basically like stripped away. There's no like glitz and glamour to it. But I really, really liked it. I would highly recommend it. It's on Prime.
Okay.
I watched How To with John Wilson. I don't know how far you got with it.
So I'm trying to remember. What was the last episode?
How to Make a Risotto.
No, didn't watch that.
Okay, so that's the finale.
Okay.
So I won't spoil it for you, but the finale, so he's been filming this for years. And the finale, he filmed as COVID hit New York. So it's very jarring and like doesn't seem real that as he's filming, like New York City just locks down.
Yeah.
And everyone all of a sudden is wearing masks and no one's talking to each other and there's like few people on the street. And it just so happened to coincide with when he was filming the finale.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a visual timeline of when COVID hit New York. And it's called How to Make a Perfect Risotto. And he's trying to quit smoking. And he's trying to make his landlady, her favorite dish is like a risotto. And like she's always so nice to him and always taking care of him. So he tries to perfect a risotto dish. It's really cool. It just got renewed for season 2. And as I was saying, in which you can confirm, like it's definitely not going to be a show for everybody.
No, it's not. But it has a lot more if you pay attention. If you're actually paying attention to it and not just like following the stupid jokes and like the silly like visual gags that he does with his cutaways, which are fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I love when he says a joke and then the shot that he's showing is something that like that
like with
also
the
reinforces it.
different the different guys. He's like, or maybe there's 3 guys, and then it's like the 3 guys,
Yeah,
or
right.
4 guys, or, yeah.
So like stuff like that, like if you're not just like following that stuff, like maybe that might be stuff you miss, but also like it goes deeper than that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, the episode that like learn how to like he learns how to cover a chair, how to cover your furniture. It's more than just like the surface level, like how to put plastic over your furniture.
Right.
So,
But I also did
very
find
good.
out. I read an interview with him and the the foreskin guy.
Yes. Oh my.
So that wasn't.
God,
He didn't
what
know that
a
was going to
wild-
happen.
He didn't know that he was going to do that.
When he's laying in the bed, he said so he knew like he was going to meet that guy, and because this guy is like.
we can explain
known
this. So this guy is he's a proponent of like
Keeping the foreskin.
keeping the foreskin, and this is a guy who had been circumcised.
Yes.
And he was trying to get his foreskin back, and he sells a product that stretches his dick skin.
What?
So it
To
can
go back over the tip.
over the tip
or
of
like
the penis.
protect the tip. Yeah.
So this guy's in there, like doing a documentary with him, and all of a sudden he just lays on his bed, like his dick is already out, and he's already
Right.
like showing him the product and shit. But he like ties a string to his headboard and a string to his dick, and he's like pulling on the string to like stretch out his dick. The guy's just sitting there recording him. It's the most insane thing that I've ever seen.
So that wasn't scripted. He didn't.
It's
Jawa
insane.
said he didn't know
it's
that he was going to do
insane.
that. Yeah.
Crazy.
Which,
Seems
if
like-
you haven't seen the show, it's probably jarring to hear that.
It
but-
seems like that's straight out of the Domar playbook.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can
that's
see
a xhamster.com video.
Yeah. And the guy's just sitting there. He's like, see, this is how the pulley system works. He's just like pulling on it.
What's the website? It's like it's something fucking weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a very fascinating show, though, on HBO. And only on HBO. HBO gives, like, this show and High Maintenance, like, these weird, strange shows. They just, like, give them the opportunity to exist. And I'm very happy that they do. And I'm going to finish out with Holly and I watched, I'm assuming neither of you guys have seen this, Passenger 57. It's a 1992 action movie with Wesley Snipes.
I've never seen it, but I've heard it referenced in a number of things. Like it was referenced in Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode that I was watching
Really?
the other day. Yeah.
It's so 90s. It's like just 90s in all the best ways.
Oh, Wesley Snipes, Tom Sizemore.
Yeah, so it's just like there's a foreign villain. So the movie opens in this like hospital room, and the guy who ends up being the main villain is just laying there, and the doctors have their surgical gear on, and they're ready to operate. And they're like, all right, are you ready? Like, are you ready for the procedure or whatever? And they're like, yeah. And then they pan out, and the FBI's on the outside. And they're like, look, so-and-so, the bad guy's in there. We got to get him. He keeps changing his face. So the surgery, I guess, is going to be them to replace his face with a different face. And then that's how the movie kicks off. Like, the bad guy is just, like, blows up planes, and he's a terrorist. And that doesn't fit into the movie at all. So it's a character trait that they never touch upon.
Never
The
again.
rest of the movie, except for the first
So
scene.
he constantly changes.
So that's
his
how he
face.
evades
Right.
arrest.
But he
They
doesn't
never
like
touch
try
that
to do it again throughout.
Doesn't
the
try to
movie?
do it again. Doesn't fit into him evading arrest.
Does he change his face again?
He does
throughout-
not. Nope. And they don't. And he doesn't end up going. He ends up killing the doctor. He asks the doctor what time it is, and then the clock hits noon, and then he slits the doctor's throat, and then runs away. And then he ends up. And then they. So he's this. Meanwhile, he's this world-class terrorist who's killed hundreds of people, and they put him on a passenger plane with one FBI agent to fly him to
Is the
to
FBI
prison.
agent Wesley Snipes?
No.
Okay.
Wesley Snipes is a retired cop who teaches airplane hijacking courses. He just so happens to be on the plane.
Okay.
Young Elizabeth Hurley.
Oh.
So I know to bring this full circle for you.
Okay.
So I know where another reference where I've heard that show that movie reference before, and it is from Sunny when the gang beats Boggs. It's the part where Dennis and Mac they both say it. So if I've learned anything from movies like Passenger 57 and Executive Decision, there's a secret compartment in here where I can move freely throughout the cabin.
It is true.
They both say the same line. It's so funny.
They have like scenes like where the food's supposed to be stored, and it's just standing up, like running around in it. It's insane. It's a very insane movie, but I love the '90s, like how they did like the score, because how they transitioned to scenes was almost like the Seinfeld movie. It's like bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 and like someone just got killed, and then they're like transitioning to the next scene. It's just so funny.
So you've transitioned nicely from Nick Cage movies to Wesley Snipes movies.
Right. Well, Holly said no more
Ooh.
Nick Cage. For
Well,
now.
you've seen Demolition Man, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Simon Phoenix, dude. What a
was
character name.
What was the Nick Cage movie I just tagged you in the project he's working on? Oh, it's a documentary about the history of swearing.
Yes,
Swear
unscripted.
words. Unscripted. That sounds like something that he should be doing. An unscripted show or movie, whatever the fuck it is.
Especially after listening to his interviews where he just goes on and on. I can't wait.
I can't even imagine. Like,
Whoa. Hey,
does Nick Cage swear?
the Executive
Not
Decision
really.
movie.
Yeah, he doesn't really, huh? Imagine if we found out that he just doesn't swear. That'd be the weirdest fucking thing
It would be.
you've heard about Nick Cage.
I bet you could swap the plot lines of these two movies. Like, this is the tagline for Executive Decision. When terrorists seize control of an airliner, an intelligence analyst accompanies a commando unit for a mid-air boarding operation.
Close. So Passenger 57, there's a lot of, also, a lot of like subtle racism. So Wesley Snipes is sitting on the plane and this old lady sits next to him. She's like, "Oh, I love your talk show." Like basically mistaking him for Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, right.
He's like,
Oh, boy.
and then when they land the plane, it's in like bumfuck Missouri, and the sheriff and everything arrest him, and they're like, "Hey, boy, you shouldn't be on that plane." He's like, "No, I'm an ex-cop." They're like, "Oh yeah, bet you are, boy." I'm like, "Oh wow, this doesn't feel like it needs to be in the movie." So yeah, pretty similar though. Who's in Executive Decision?
Kurt Russell.
Ooh,
Steven Seagal. Halle Berry. John Leguizamo and Oliver Platt. That's a pretty star-studded cast.
probably better than Passenger 57.
All right.
Although
We might have to watch
Tom
these.
Sizemore is pretty good in it.
Yeah.
I like Tom Sizemore in it. He was good. Elizabeth Hurley was pretty good. I don't really recognize anybody else.
Oh, shit. Did I tell you guys I watched Heat the other day recently? Did we go through that? Did I mention that on one of the last ones? One day I woke up, like last week, 2 weeks ago maybe, I just woke up and I just had a hankering to watch Heat.
Oh, yeah, you told us.
I think you did.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
last
never mind
podcast.
We'll move on.
It's a great movie.
So that is what I've been watching. So what do we want to do for these news stories?
So we have a long one with the Disney investors meeting. So let's talk about Soderbergh and Nolan talking about HBO Max,
Okay.
Warner Brothers decision, and then we'll roll into that, and maybe we'll talk briefly about the Nobody trailer, and maybe next week we'll talk about aliens.
Yeah.
Good,
Cool.
All right. So as we talked about last week, HBO, which is breaking news for us, HBO Max and Warner Brothers have decided that, Warner Brothers decided that they're going to put all their movies in 2021 on HBO Max day and date that they were supposed to come out in theaters for a month, and anybody at home can watch them if you have HBO Max. Fantastic for the fans. Fantastic. We talked about how we still want to see Dune in theaters. There's still some movies you might want to see in theaters, but this is fantastic for everybody. But except for it's not exciting. It's not the best thing for Chris Nolan, apparently.
So, but Chris Nolan and Soderbergh had like very different, and now Denis Villeneuve is more siding with Nolan.
Yeah.
But they're basically saying they were more upset that Warner Bros. Didn't notify like any directors, actors that this is going to be happening.
Yeah, I mean,
But the thing is, like,
they don't have to.
they don't have to. One, and like, does it affect like unless you have like a percentage of the box office in your contract, which maybe some do.
Yeah, they probably do, but it seems like
I'm
Nolan's
sure they
comment,
compensate them.
Nolan's comment isn't really about the box office, what it's making at the box office. I think it's more about him wanting to see the movie, like having the movie seen in the box.
How he wants people to experience it.
Right.
So Nolan basically, it's not a long statement, but I'm not going to read it all. But he just says like, he's in disbelief. They're meant to be big screen experiences, and he's saying basically says that HBO Max fucked up their launch, and now Warner Bros. Is trying to bail them out, and he thinks HBO Max is a shitty streaming service.
Yeah.
Which they did fuck up their launch because the branding is so confusing. Like, I still can't find out a way to watch it, even though I have HBO.
That's such a
Not to
misstep.
get back to that.
It's such a
but it still
misstep.
pisses
Open
me
that
off.
can of worms.
They should have done what they should have done is just HBO should have HBO cable and HBO the streaming service,
Right.
whatever it's called, and that streaming service should be you should have access to everything on HBO's catalog, and then things that are HBO Max have like a tag. You have to have HBO Max to have this.
To
you have
access
to be
this.
you have to bump up in price, but it's the same service. They have 3 different apps right now that still haven't been integrated.
Integrated.
Integrated. No. What is it?
Integrated.
Integrated together. In Ryan's case, that he's one of the people that it's troubling for him because HBO Now is not a thing anymore.
Right. and then Soderbergh
So they did fuck it up.
they did on the flip side is saying he thinks it's basically Warner Bros. Acknowledging an economic reality that movie theaters are not going to go back to normal, possibly for the entirety of 2021, and they want to get the movies out there. He doesn't think it's going to be the end of movie theaters because he said that there's really no feel and there's also no monetary feeling for the movie studios to have like $1 billion movie. There's nothing you can equate streaming wise to $1 billion movie, which some of these are going to be.
But here's the thing, too.
So he doesn't think it's going to go away.
If you think about it this way, people are spending less time on normal cable. People are spending less time outside right now at this point. People are spending less time reading print news. People are spending less time, anyway, what I'm trying to say is old media is going away. If they could shrink down their marketing budgets to throwing up YouTube ads, to throwing up Facebook ads, to throwing up places where people are Twitter, on HBO Max before movie rolls, here's one thing that can't go away. If movie theaters start, shrinking and more shit's coming straight to, I need previews.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I need previews. I need them.
That's like that. I couldn't imagine going to like a movie theater and not having previews, but even watching it at home, I'm like, it's not the same. Like that gets you hyped.
I could be convinced to go see a bad movie because I know that I'm going to go and I'm going to at least get popcorn and I'm going to see.
Get your blue eye see.
I'm going to see fucking Godzilla King of Monsters trailer.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
That movie's going to blow my doors off in the theaters.
I mean,
You know why? Because you're in the theater too.
Yeah, most of the time, those trailers are the most exciting part about that movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes the movie that it ends up being is not great, but you're like, remember the fucking trailer?
It's awesome.
Remember that trailer?
So like we haven't got to see the Batman trailer in a theater.
Right.
Right.
I would have shit my pants if I saw that in a theater. I would have gone to a movie specifically to see that. Oh my God, did somebody shit their pants?
Cut the film.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, that's what it is. And so, yeah, I mean, it sucks because Nolan is right. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why Nolan is right, but he doesn't have to be such a pompous bitch about it. Like, okay, like Tenet, it got fucked up because people are dying at a very high rate this year because of a sickness. It's a pandemic, man. Like, you gotta accept that. Your next movie is probably gonna be out in theaters like normal. Okay,
Right.
So like, and also have a relaunch. If you don't think people next summer are gonna want to go see Tenet because it's not gonna be the launch it would normally have been.
People will still see it.
I'd go see it again.
If you do it 2 weeks.
But also, like, was Tenet ever going to be like $1 billion? Again, it's not the money for him, but was Tenet ever going to be $1 billion movie? Probably not, right?
I don't know if...
Because you're gonna lose a lot of people just on
It's long.
him.
Did The Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises make $1 billion?
No. I think at the top with the top movies, I think it's Avatar, Titanic.
Oh, those are still got to be 1 and 2.
Both Avengers movies, Affinity.
Yeah, it did. Dark Knight made
It made $1 billion?
just over worldwide. Yeah.
Okay. Where does it stop? At what top grossing movie? Where does it stop making $1 billion worldwide? What number?
It's what I think about sometimes when I think about
Like what number? Like highest grossing movies is under $1 billion. Like if you look at top grossing movies,
Joker,
was that which number is that?
993 million.
What number? What top? You know what I mean? Like what number is it from the top?
4.
Fourth?
So
Really?
Aquaman made 1.148 billion.
Is
Dark
this
Knight
domestic
Rises
or worldwide?
Worldwide. Dark Knight Rises made 1.085 billion. Dark Knight made 1.005 billion. Then Joker drops below.
So I thought
Wait, there's only the Avengers movies didn't make over $1 billion.
So this is just
Let's
this is DC. Sorry.
see. Okay.
I thought Joker made $1 billion, but I mean obviously they were very close if they didn't. But something wild about that is like they made all that money and that movie didn't get released in China. Like a lot of these big box office movies, like there's a huge, all the Rock's movies make it to $1 billion, or close to $1 billion because of like the Chinese market. Like
One of the Transformers movies was #1 in China,
yeah,
like all time. Like one of like the sequels.
it was like the
The
fourth.
Mark
I think it was
Wahlberg
the fourth one.
The Age of Extinction.
They filmed a lot of it there, though.
They love
I'm
Mark
pretty
Wahlberg.
sure. They do. Marky Mark.
Mark Wahlberg is marketable. On my list here I'm on top lifetime grosses, Box Office Mojo. #1 is Avengers Endgame,
Ever?
$2.7 billion.
Holy Jesus.
So it's showing here. And then if you go down, the one that drops below $1 billion is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. That's the 50th movie. It means there's 49 movies.
Holy shit.
And all of them are like okay, Jurassic, the ones that are in the 90s that are not the last 20 years. You got Jurassic Park at 42. You got The Lion King, 94. That's it.
Everything else is like the modern.
Everything else is modern. Yep, that's it. Everything. Oh no, Titanic, number 3.
Yeah.
That's not fair, though. Titanic, how many times has that been out in theaters? That comes out in theaters like every 5 years.
So anyway,
It's a great movie.
Let's roll this conversation right. So it's two sides of the same coin here. Like, yeah, sure, it's shitty, but also like this is the reality we're facing. I think I was talking to both of you before, maybe just Adam. You have to realize that movie theaters are eventually going to diminish. Like I think personally there will always be a way to see a movie in a theater, but I think there's going to get to a point where attendance is going to dwindle so much that you're gonna see way more movies coming out streaming.
It'll be almost like a niche.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think that maybe there's like the Providence Place Cinema for Rhode Island, and then like maybe a few other small ones. But there's not going to be like this. Like I'd be surprised if when it reopens, I'd be surprised if the one we go to, Ryan, the one in South Attleboro.
Hey, that one's like
The Showcase.
10, 15 minutes from me.
So it's a great theater. That's
It's kind of close to everybody.
So it's the same setup as it's the same setup as the one in Seekonk, and I like the one in Seekonk because of how close it is to me. But it's the opposite. It's like it's the opposite way of you guys from me.
Right.
But it's the same distance from me to the one in South Attleboro.
It's a showcase, right?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if both of those are open when everything reopens. Like, why would you need to have two of those in that close of
Right. Like for me,
That's the
where,
thing, yeah.
where I am, like, I don't see if that happens, like the Patriot Place one is going to stay open, not the South
Sure,
Attleboro one,
right.
because they're 15 minutes apart.
Well, and you gotta think like what you're saying. Like it's like you go out to dinner and a movie, and like you got shops over there. Those are the type of places that will stay. So it is whatever. Disney.
Oh my God.
Disney is cashing in all their chips in streaming services.
There's an avalanche of news yesterday.
So let's go through this. So Disney had their investor meeting, I guess is what it's called, or whatever the.
Who do you think is at these investor meetings? You think there's just regular Joes like us there? Like, hey,
No, I don't think normally what it is.
just came from Chili's and ready for the investor meeting.
No, I don't know. I mean, they live stream it to everybody, whoever wants to be part of it. So they announced. Let me get this tweet. Disney announced at this investors meeting 10 new, and this is on top of stuff that they've already announced. 10 Marvel series. This is series on Disney Plus. 10 Star Wars series. Mm-hmm. This is all new stuff that we haven't heard of before. 15 Disney live action, Disney animation, and Pixar series. So 15 total between those three divisions. And 15 features between those divisions. So Disney animation, Pixar, and Disney live action. That's around, they said it was like around 50.
And that's all going to be on Disney Plus.
Not the features.
Not the features.
They're not talking about
okay.
the features, but some of them will be, and all the series obviously will be.
So which ones?
They're
did
sticking
you have
by
any-
not Scarlet Witch, sorry, Black Widow going in theaters next year.
So did you have any that you saw that really stood out to you?
Oh my God! So number one, they announced all these awesome new Star Wars shows. The ones that stand out for me is Lando.
Yep. And,
Is
like,
Donald
when I
Glover
saw-
going to be?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what like really grabbed me.
Here's
that
what
was the coolest Star Wars one that I'm interested in.
Here's what I hope. I hope that Roland Emmerich, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Alden
Who's
Emmerich.
Roland Emmerich?
He's a director.
He did The Day After Tomorrow.
Alden Emmerich. I hope he gets wrapped up into the show.
Solo was good.
Solo, I like Solo a lot. I think it would have been more successful if it was a Lando show with Han.
No,
A Lando movie with Han.
I think
Was it the opposite?
I think there was.
Well, it was called Solo. It was about Han Solo, and not a lot of people liked his playing of Han Solo, which I thought was good.
I thought he was good, and
Yeah.
I thought it was a good movie.
But people gush over Donald Glover as Lando.
Right.
They've been calling it for years.
I think there was
Seems
a
like perfect
Star Wars
casting.
fatigue at the time
Yeah.
because it was less than a year, and we had within less than a year we had a new Star Wars movie, we had Rogue One and Solo. So I think there was a little bit.
And
of
were they
Star
really
Wars
telling
fatigue.
you stories, or they were just focusing on certain characters?
It was prequel. It was
Like
all. It was all.
you find out why his name is Han Solo. Like it's
that
that.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Because
Queen of Mother of Dragons is in it as well.
Ooh, she is.
Daenerys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's the love interest.
Amelia.
So
Well, who
so
isn't she? A love
Lando
interest
sticks
there?
out for me. There's also a few animated shows that Mike D, Slippery Mike D,
He texted me yesterday too.
filled me in on this one. But the Bad Batch looks awesome. He
Yep.
told me to be excited for that. It follows a group of rebel soldiers, or maybe they're not rebels. They're the Bad Batch follows an elite and experimental clones of the Bad Batch, first introduced in the Clone Wars animated show. They find their way in a rapidly changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone War. Members of the Bad Batch, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's an animated show. Looks good. Obi-Wan Kenobi with Ewan McGregor, something that we knew about, but
like another crazy thing is that Hayden Christensen will be back as Darth Vader. Like
which is
so,
phenomenal.
because everybody got rock hard in Rogue One at the end when Darth Vader was fucking shit up at the end of that movie. So like, you needed more. We got that little taste of Darth Vader there. After so many years.
Yeah.
And it's awesome that they bring those two back together. And Ewan McGregor said that like he's just psyched to be working with his buddy again.
I'm so excited. Like that's great for him and everything. I'm so excited that like the fans are behind because like someone put out a tweet the other day. It was like, oh, so all of a sudden now everybody likes Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader, like as Anakin Skywalker. Everybody likes him now.
Bullshit.
So, yeah. So, but that's great. That's a good one. Ahsoka Tano gets her own show in the.
I haven't gotten to her in The Mandalorian.
Another
yet.
thing I've noticed is there's a few new shows that are happening in the Mandalorian time frame, which is after Return of the Jedi.
So I did see that.
Is she the helper of the character that came back?
No,
week?
she
She's a
was
Jedi.
in. She was in the Jedi episode, the one where we compared it to Kill Bill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her. Rosario Dawson.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
she's getting her own show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I
With
read
Rosario
that.
Dawson?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Mandalorian, her show, and another one will be like rolled together for like an event. You know what I mean? Like a culmination story event.
It's the Rangers of the New Republic, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one. It's also Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are doing all these shows too. Like not all the
I'll
shows,
watch
but
anything those
Rangers
two
of the
guys
New
do.
Republic and
I'm so
Ahsoka.
impressed with what they do.
Did
Like,
you see, Patty Jenkins is directing the show about the X-wing fighter pilots.
Yes,
it's pretty cool because
that one is called. Wait, is that one? Is that one the Rogue Squadron?
Yeah, Rogue Squadron. That's
Yeah,
it.
right.
And so I didn't know this, but she's like her like teaser for it was how she was on like a landing strip and she was saying how her father was a fighter pilot and he lost his life defending the country. And so she's
badass
always wanted
teaser.
to direct a movie, like make the best fighter pilot movie ever, but she never had a script that she wanted. Like she never had the right story, but now she like gets to do a fighter pilot movie in the Star Wars universe. It's pretty awesome.
that's pretty sweet.
They have another one that stands out to me, a droid story,
Right?
which follows a new droid and being led along by R2D2 and C3PO.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Guided. It says guided by legendary duo R2 and C3PO.
That guy that played C3PO is just raked one role. I don't even know if he's Anthony Daniels is his name.
Yes,
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Oh, I know that because he's at all the Comic-Cons. But
Another one, a couple more of the Star Wars ones. I think these are the most exciting ones for me. The Alkalite.
I don't know anything about that.
It's essentially it's going to be Leslie Headland, an Emmy Award nominated creator of the mind-bending series Russian Doll, is doing it, and they describe it as mystery thriller that takes place in a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era.
Whoa.
So that sounds cool. And then the other one, which if you've seen Rogue One, you'll know there's a character, Cassian Andor,
Oh my God.
played by Diego Luna, who's so good at it.
I love
It's
Diego
so
Luna.
good in it. And so Diego Luna will be reprising his role as Cassian Andor in the show Andor.
It's fantastic in Narcos Mexico.
He's very good. He's awesome.
So the Chris Evans Buzz Lightyear movie, is that gonna be that was part of the thing, right?
I read about. I didn't see. I think that's probably part of this, but I didn't.
So he's playing the person that the Buzz Lightyear doll is
based after?
based after.
Oh, so it's
But I
live-
don't know if it's live action. He's either
shit, I
voicing.
gotta
No, it's animated.
Yeah, so he's voicing the person who the doll is based on, which seems pretty cool.
It's called Lightyear, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one kind of
Do you want to get
stood out to me.
to some of the Marvel stuff?
Yeah,
too?
let's go. Let's talk some of the Marvel stuff too.
So we got a trailer for WandaVision, a trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a first look at Loki.
Looks badass.
We're getting a Hawkeye show, the What If series that is going to be animated with voice actors. About
Did you see the trailer for that?
No,
What If?
I haven't seen it. I haven't had the chance to watch any of these.
It looks like it. I'm excited for a lot of this stuff. What If looks like the coolest thing coming out of Marvel. And there's a lot of cool stuff coming, but that looks like the best.
What is that?
What If is essentially it's a animated show, like Adam said, with the voice actors that play all the same people in the Marvel. So if it's Captain America, it's Chris Evans, and it's like, what if this happened instead of this in the movies? What if this character moved up? What if this character died? What if this, like all different?
What if Captain America was Captain Hydra? Like shit like that.
Kind of stuff. Very cool.
And then Ironheart, which is the successor to Iron Man, Riri Williams. Armor Wars, which realizes one of Tony Stark's biggest fears, like what if his technology got into the wrong hands, and that one will have Don Cheadle as War Machine. Secret Invasion, Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn back as the Skrull leader. Talos. She-Hulk, Moon Knight. Also in She-Hulk, we're going to get Tim Roth and Abomination back, as well as Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk.
Love it.
Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel 2, a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special directed by James Gunn, a short series of films starring Groot called I Am Groot,
Okay.
and then movie news-wise, they announced that Chadwick Boseman will not be recast. Like they're gonna T'Challa will not be recast.
Will not be recast. Yeah.
They announced the third Ant-Man movie with your boyfriend Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. I think they touched on the Spider-Man movie, but they didn't confirm any of like the crazy rumors swirling around about that movie. And last but not least, the John Watts, the director of the three new Spider-Mans, will be doing Fantastic Four.
Saw that.
Dope.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
And now, like, imagine if, like, 'cause everybody's been dying for Mr. Fantastic to be, what's his face?
Who?
Jim from The Office.
John Krasinski?
Yeah.
That
And
makes
then,
total
like, his
sense.
wife be
Emily Blunt be
Invisible Woman,
yeah.
Chris Evans can be the fire person again.
the Human Torch.
Human Torch.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Need Michael Chiklis back.
With a big top hat and a trench coat. Michael Chiklis must be, like, one of your dad's favorite actors.
Oh, my dad's obsessed with the Shields.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Tim Roth coming back for the She-Hulk show is
Tim
huge.
Roth only does what he wants to do.
So this is what I was gonna say.
I feel like I've never seen him not do a Tarantino movie.
If he did the Edward Norton Hulk.
I never saw
movie.
that.
So he was
How
Abomination.
the hell did they
villain
get
in
him
that.
to do that movie?
Here's what happens.
A lot of money.
If the mouse comes calling, you fucking
mouse.
you fucking answer.
I'm picturing the South Park
yes,
depiction
the
of Mickey
pandemic
Mouse.
special, yes.
Oh.
If the mouse comes calling, you answer.
Yeah.
And you come do the movie.
Yep.
I mean, what Tim Roth does nothing
No,
besides like Tarantino shit or nothing.
he
He does a lot of stage stuff, and
Oh, okay.
He's not doing Disney movies. He's not doing Marvel movies. Not anymore. Like, this is not even the same Hulk. They pulled it. I love how they're
It's
able
supposed
to
to
do that.
be though. Like
Right.
it's supposed
they
to be.
pull they just keep going. I mean, Edward
Oh
Norton
my
just
god!
didn't
Imagine
want
if Liv Tyler's in it. Oh my god.
Oh, she's got to be. if fucking what's his name? Fucking.
Or like the Hulk movies, they know how to cast a female lead between Jennifer Connelly and Liv Tyler. Oh my god.
Who's what's his name? God, he's in all the Avengers movies.
Oh,
Liv's dad,
what the fuck is his name?
Thunder Johnson, right? Thunder?
No,
What the fuck's his name?
General something or other. Fucking, I think the actor's name is William Hurt.
Yeah.
That's his. Definitely, that's his name.
General Ross.
General Ross, Betty Ross,
Thunderbolt Ross.
Thunderbolt Ross.
That's what I was thinking.
So that's the
Thunder
one.
Johnson.
Thunder Johnson.
So is this Alien series separate?
Oh, all right.
It
So
just so
yeah.
happened
so let's
to-
talk,
Well, I
Pixar
wanna-
we won't touch on.
I want to
That's-
run
you can
through
let that shit be
some
yourself.
other like cool ones they announced. So they're gonna do another Turner and Hooch for some reason, but I'll see it.
Tom Hanks and the same dog.
With,
Josh Peck will be
yes.
Tom Hanks, which is pretty cool. Something I'm super interested in. They're gonna do like a mix between live action and animated. Chip and Dale. Remember Chip and Dale? Like
Oh
the
yeah,
two
with
chipmunks?
So it's gonna be like the new Tom and Jerry
Samberg.
movie.
Yeah, Andy Samberg and
I saw it.
Playing Chip and Dale. the
John
voices.
Mulaney.
Yeah.
Andy Samberg and John Mulaney will be Chip and Dale. Is
That's-
that amazing or
That's
what?
Yeah.
great. That is awesome.
Sister Act 3 with Whoopi.
Whoopee.
Hocus Pocus 2 was another one. Mighty Ducks.
Mighty
Fucking
Ducks is gonna
bomb.
be
The
dope.
Quack Attack is back, Jack.
I don't like the Mighty Ducks.
And then, last but not least, one of the ones I got most excited about is they're gonna do an alien show
Set on Earth.
Set on Earth on FX Hulu. That's where that will be, and the same guy that does Fargo and Legion will be, the executive
Noah
producer,
Hawley,
showrunner,
who I
Noah
love.
Hawley of that show. So
And they
How
said
good is
Ridley
that for
Scott
him?
is gonna executive produce.
he has to. He's
Yeah,
the man.
he's gotta.
He's like
He's like
in-
90.
well into his 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking old.
Is Tony Scott older?
Tony Scott.
Tony Scott's his brother, right?
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, Tony Scott who did
So I remember a
He
while.
died.
Top Gun. Tony Scott died.
Pretty sure.
I remember hearing a while
he
back.
did?
Yeah. A couple years ago, right?
2012.
Oh, a long time ago. Yeah.
I remember hearing a while back
didn't know
that
Tony
Noah
Scott
Hawley
died. Rest
was
in peace.
developing like
Yeah, so Ridley
something
Scott's
Doctor
older.
Doom related. Matt, do you remember hearing that?
Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
Terrible.
He's
while-
83, Ridley Scott.
Oh, okay. That's not that old.
I was
thought he
picturing
was
like
90.
88,
Yeah.
89.
He's 105. Eats bacon every day.
What'd you say?
I thought I remember reading a while back that Noah Hawley was developing some type of Doctor Doom script or something like that. But if there's a Fantastic Four coming, then there's a pretty solid chance that Doctor Doom will show up sooner or later.
Right.
Noah Hawley says he'd still do the Doctor Doom film. So it was a Doctor Doom film.
Okay, gotcha.
Well,
But
I guess
just
Fantastic Four.
a massive avalanche of news from Disney. Disney,
Yeah, I couldn't keep up. They had like a graphic with all the different shows and stuff they were doing, and
Yeah.
it was huge.
overwhelming.
Like I
Yeah.
said, there's 50
I don't
or
know
so
how I'd watch it all.
new products that are coming.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, they were investing like $9 to $12 billion
Yeah.
over the next 3 to 4
Think
years.
about how much I want to know what they made. They paid $7 billion for Star Wars or $4 billion.
I have no idea.
That is highway robbery.
Yeah.
Robbery.
There is
they
no-
made that
there
off
is
of
no
2
amount.
movies.
Yeah.
But then, like, what's George Lucas going to ask for it? $1 trillion?
Well,
Like,
here's
there's
the
no.
He's still involved.
Yeah,
Right.
$4.05 billion they paid for it. Disney paid for Lucasfilms. He probably was like, yeah, all right. Like he's probably making.
Imagine someone's like, "Hey, I'll give you $4 billion for that thing you created."
He's probably still making a shitload of money on fucking
30 years
toys.
ago.
What am I supposed to do? I'm so old.
40 years
What am I
ago.
going to do with $4 billion?
I bet
Buy a $4 billion car.
I bet Disney made. I bet Disney made a quarter of that back selling toys the first Christmas that they had the Star Wars shit.
Yep.
When The Force Awakens was coming out, I remember
The
that being
BB-8 toys.
because that was the first time new Star Wars, like new product Star Wars toys, were hitting shelves in a long time. Like besides constantly reprinting fucking C-3PO,
Yeah.
this is all new shit.
Because now you have like the original Star Wars fans,
yeah.
and now their kids are
kids.
into it, and now their grandkids are into
They
it.
hit it they hit it with perfect stride
Yeah,
because they
it's-
have all the kids, all the people that were original Star Wars fans. Their kids are probably maybe a little older, but probably around the right age to like buy all this shit for them.
And
I'm
it's-
getting a Baby Yoda thing for my kid.
And it's something. It's like I've
get a
mentioned on
mask.
this podcast a number of times about my horrifying experience at the Lego Batman movie,
Yes.
going to a kids movie in theaters. But like going to a Star Wars movie, like that's something that kids can be excited about as well as the parents. You know what I mean? It's a triple whammy, triple whammy.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, they
It's like-
I don't think there was any time that it wouldn't have worked,
Right.
but this is a great time to do it. Especially if you can introduce new stories. Like, I never thought I would enjoy The Mandalorian, but now it makes me want to like explore some of the other stuff they're doing. I don't know if I'll necessarily go back and watch the movies, but I'm definitely interested in the new series that they're doing.
Very exciting stuff.
Very exciting stuff. So do you want to touch on the Nobody trailer quick before
quickly,
we end?
Quickly.
So Adam, have you seen this?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. So for those of you who haven't seen it, please stop what you're doing and go watch the Nobody trailer. The name of the movie is called Nobody, and it's Bob Odenkirk starring as a John Wick-esque character.
Right. He's just like regular guy,
Regular guy.
job with a family, and someone breaks into his house, and like everybody's like sort of running him down that he didn't do anything, but he's got a dark side.
He does, and he has a dark past. My only issue with the trailer is I think they gave away a little too much.
Yeah.
I wish they wouldn't have kept going with it, like with his past life and all that. Like that's something that you should
Give me
kind of
some
discover.
ass kicking, not all the ass kicking they gave us.
Right. But go watch it right now. It's almost through. It's like 2 minutes, 50 seconds of Bob Odenkirk, believe it or not, kicking ass believably.
Yeah.
Right.
I was very surprised at how easily he fit into that role.
Yeah.
And obviously one of the producers of John Wick is involved, which I feel like now that this guy,
Come
whoever
on.
he is, has made John Wick, he's just going to make this movie with a different guy over and over and over again. Like who's going to be now? Adam Sandler maybe? Will be the,
It's a great
I
formula.
want a female one.
It's a great formula.
Give me Charlize Theron.
Well, Atomic Blonde.
No,
You gotta watch Atomic Blonde.
You haven't
I
seen
have
Atomic
not seen Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde is basically that, but done with a different.
Or Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep?
Like she's watching her grandkids and
Get Prada on the phone.
somebody breaks in.
Get Prada. Get George
Give me Armani.
Give me Armani. All right. Well, that's it. This episode's been sponsored by Coors Light because we've drank about 7 of them. 6, 7.
The mountains are still blue.
That's right, and that's when you know they're cold.
Yeah, ice, ice, ice.
Let's hold on. I want to bring up another topic.
Okay.
Let's talk about beer gimmicks quick. We'll just spend about 5-10 minutes on this.
Okay.
Top. Everybody, let's do a draft. Everybody, we'll do. We'll go around 3 times. Your top beer gimmick. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. Features. Adam, you go first.
Okay. I got a good one.
Okay, just one, and we're gonna snake it around.
It applies to all of it. Like it applies.
Yeah, any kind
it's
of
a blanket.
gimmick.
It's a blanket statement.
Yes.
So I am a sucker for the gimmicks. Like when like the gimmick food at like a fast food place or something like that.
The black tie taco at Taco Bell.
The specials
The
at
Black
restaurants.
Whopper.
I'm a sucker for it, right?
Okay.
And so when I go to the liquor store and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the liquor store. You know what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get, it's the summer. I'm gonna get some Coronas. But out of the corner of my eye, I'm a big Budweiser guy, so I love Budweiser. The corner of my eye, I see the America Budweiser cans, or like in the winter, I see the Christmas Budweiser cans, or you know what I mean, like the seasonally themed cans.
So you like the style can?
Yes, I'm a big sucker for those.
Okay. First overall pick, seasonal cans. One great one, the Christmas Budweiser ones are all time.
Yep.
Especially when they get the mixed pack.
Clydesdales on them.
And also the orange Busch Light cans.
Oh my God.
The one with the orange like camo.
Yeah, like
or
the
leaves
camo
or-
ones. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Drank a lot of Keystones looking for an orange Keystone that
Oh, yeah.
when we were in college and they were running that promotion still.
Yeah.
So mine's twofold. One is the advertising,
Okay.
and I love Corona in the summer. So Corona really for me was strictly a summer beer until their Christmas advertisements, where it's just like a Christmas tree on a beach and then Feliz Navidad. It's so simple, but it works for me. I don't know why. And then every time I see
Oh,
that
they have
commercial,
Christmas down there too.
yeah, I know, but
That's
like,
clever.
yeah, I'm like, hey, I like that.
The Christmas lights
And
on
I
the
go
palm
out
tree.
and I buy some Coronas. Secondly, it was the commercials with High Life, with the delivery guy,
Oh yeah, those were great.
and he would,
High Life.
yeah, High Life, yeah.
Remember they announced they were advertising they were going to have the shortest Super Bowl commercial in history.
Mm.
It was 1 second. And he just goes, High Life.
Yeah. So that one it makes me like High Life, but I can only drink High Life out of a bottle now.
That's it.
So, yes. So you like
So I'm more of
you're the ads.
Yeah.
You're like
So if I see it on visually, I see it on TV, then I'm like, that's what I'm drinking this weekend.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go with the Miller Lite Vortex.
The Vortex technology.
The Vortex.
Do you think that's real?
No, it's definitely not real.
There's no
Definitely
way.
not real. So for those of you who don't know,
It's just like a slightly wider.
They don't do those anymore,
the
do
Miller,
they?
no. I wish that's one bottle that I wish I had kept around.
You know who
Yeah.
probably has one, Derek?
Yeah,
I think I could go on
He loves that Miller Lite.
Let's go on eBay right now.
Because they would have what? Like it was like the ribbed
Yeah.
inside. It's
ribbed for her
yeah.
pleasure.
And also, I like that. I like new stuff because Miller Lite's usually my go-to for, drinking beers, but you know what I
Heavily.
mean. Yeah.
drinking numerous.
But when
But the new bottles are all right. That's my favorite style. Oh, there it is right here. What the? This is okay. That's the thing for it.
So I feel like when we were in college, it was like they were really coming fast and furious with like the features to the cans and bottles to like really promote binge drinking.
Yes.
Because High Life, they came out. So I feel like Coors Light started it with the cold activated cans. And then they had the wide mouth cans with the vent. And then Miller was just like, you know what? They did the wide mouth cans with the
Wait, hold on.
double.
Shh. Don't give it away. We're going around again.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That's the hold on. Well, all right. Go ahead. Explain it now.
All right, sorry. So I remember like Miller, they doubled down. And they said, you know what? We're taking the wide mouth can and we're taking the vent, but you know what? We're putting fucking two vents on there. So there's two vents so you could really
You remember
inhale
when
your
you
beer.
assholes were drinking with cans with one vent? Well, now we're adding a second one.
And you know what? It
Son
worked.
of a
Drinking
bitches.
slow pussy.
Here it is. Right here it is. New Vortex bottle, specifically designed grooves. Great Pilsner taste. And it just looks like the inside of a pistol. Like just the way the barrel is bored. And it doesn't, it's just pouring.
It does nothing.
It looks like it's just pouring out of the bottle the same way.
Yes. It's not like shooting out.
I have to have one of these bottles now.
It reminds me of
Because that's an all-time, I can't really, that's an all-time
Yeah.
That is.
label design too.
Logo.
They do
yeah.
have a really good logo.
That's a great logo.
I like it better than now. It's like
my
the
God.
dark blue, gray, and white.
It's the classic one. It's the classic look, but it's like
I don't like it.
it was
I like
cool
that
when you
one.
first saw it, but I wish it was just limited time, and I wish they went back to like looking
Yeah.
like when this was the high point of beer marketing right here.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, do you want to? Is yours the double vent?
Mine's the double vent. The double vent. I'm not really like a Miller guy. I love High Life.
Wait, was it Miller or was it Coors?
No, so Coors had the single barrel. And then Miller came out with the double.
No, they didn't.
I swear to God. I'm
And then
pretty sure
Coors
they
I
did the
thought it was
skinnier
Coors.
cans.
Yep, Coors did the tall, skinny cans, so like the beer flowed out faster.
They really were promoting a lot of binge drinking.
Binge drinking.
But I feel like
Yeah,
people
Coors
were.
Light has the double vent.
Is it Coors with a double vent?
So Coors Light definitely had the single vent. Yeah, it's the silver bullet, double
All right.
vent, double vent. But it's just
All right,
hilarious.
so the Coors Light double vent with the wide mouth can and the cold activated the mountains. Like that was
Yeah,
they
they
really
still got the
pulled
cold
out all the
activated.
stops. Yeah.
See, look, now it's not as cold. It's like a little grayer.
Genius.
All right, Ryan.
I
do, you
feel
have,
like
do, you have
Bud-
another, do you have another drinking game? I think we're getting down to the bottom.
Yeah, sorry.
of the barrel.
That one sort of hit all the
No, but that's a great one.
So the advertisements usually get me. There are times though, like you said, where you'll go in. It has to be one of the big liquor stores, like Yankee Spirits,
right.
and then I'll go in and I can get visually lured in to like a specific can style. But it's usually for me, it's the Budweisers.
Yeah.
Like those when they put the Clydesdale on the Christmas cans.
You gotta get 'em.
What am I supposed to do?
You gotta get 'em. It's like when they put Santa on Coca-Cola. You gotta
Right.
get
It's
it.
Christmas Coke. Tom is a big proponent of Christmas Coke.
It's not Santa anymore. It's polar bears on the Christmas Coke now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I feel like that's
He-
something that Tom is probably
He's probably upset
Upset
about
about.
that, but he's also just a proponent of that Christmas Coke tastes better than regular Coke.
Right.
It's the same Coke.
It's the same
I'm
Coke,
sorry, Tom, but we'll let him live in his
But
Coke.
in your mind, it could.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm going to go with, here's mine. This is a newer fascination. I love getting the mini cans, the 8-ounce cans.
See, okay,
Because number one, I feel like I'm
like Andre the Giant.
I feel like I'm Andre the Giant, and also like okay, they're like I can drink more because they're small, but I just end up drinking twice as many.
Yes. Remember we did that with the Limeritas?
Yes, right, exactly.
That was hard alcohol. I will say I like the opposite. I like getting the Tall Boys. 6-pack of Tall Boys.
The liquor store near my house has a great selection of local tall boys. Give it to me.
sorry. I just searched like beer can gimmicks, and I found some forgotten ones that we've forgotten. Like so when they came out with the aluminum cans,
I
the
got one.
aluminum bottles.
Oh,
That's a cool
right,
one.
the aluminum twist top, the resealable bottles, great.
Coors Light really was at the forefront of this.
Coors Original, the Stubbies.
Yeah.
Yes,
That one, for a while, I would get that just because of the stubby. Mm-hmm. Like, I would rather have a stubby than like a normal bottle or a normal can.
I bought 16-ounce Coors banquet beers, and I'm like, you know what?
It's a meal.
It doesn't. Well, it's so good. It doesn't taste as good as the
stubby. It doesn't.
The stubby ones. No.
Yeah, and it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Because MGD does that too, right?
Yeah.
MGD has the same type of bottle. It's the cone top.
I will say though, some of them, like when you twist the cap off, it's not like a crisp twist. You're like, oh.
Yeah, it's like, oh god.
Did they glue this on?
Nah, I'm still gonna drink it.
I'm still gonna drink it. But
Adam, what do you got?
So I just searched the 10. It's the 10 best beer gimmicks.
This is probably what we should have done from the beginning.
Right.
Give it.
Do you remember the Coors Light cooler pack where the case
was
a cooler?
Of course.
Yes.
Of
Oh my
course.
God,
Yeah.
amazing.
36.
The Bud Light
36 in the cooler pack, right?
Yes, the 36.
you know, I was a
pack.
big fan of that.
Who?
Eugene.
6 extra beers, for
Imagine
like $1
you
more.
have a 6-pack and then you still have a 30 waiting for you.
Remember the Bud Light bottles where you could write on the labels, drawing dicks all over them?
No,
I don't remember
just
that.
like with just like an impression.
Did I miss on that?
Oh.
Yeah, the write on labels. I remember those.
Wait, do you write on them with a pen, or is it like you
Yeah.
just like? Oh,
Or a marker or something.
no, I don't remember that one.
The Coors Light Frost Brewed Liner.
Yes,
I
That was
do
something
remember
you
that.
didn't see.
the fucking
but-
can for Coors Light. The cans must cost more than the goddamn beer.
Yeah.
They're really obsessed with letting you know the beer's cold.
The Vortex bottle.
Vortex bottles.
And
is
then
my number
this,
one.
so I had thought that the Miller Lite came out with the double barrel, but they came out with something better. They came out with the Miller Lite punch top cans, where the top, there was a special spot where you could punch through it to let air
Yes.
through. So you
Yes.
could really inhale your
I
beer.
do remember that.
A
one.
Dodge Bear
Yeah.
player's dream.
That's the real vent, because the actual
real
vent,
vent.
the vent technology that Coors Light put out, the double vent, you can't really tell.
No,
You-
but
the only way to
punching
vent
a
it-
hole through the top.
Yes, that'll do it.
That'll do it. You
That
know,
those are some.
you know
good
what we gotta
ones.
do, and I'm sure that Neil doesn't listen to the podcast, but for his bachelor party, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna find Vortex bottles, and I'm gonna brew some beer.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Put 'em in the Vortex bottles.
Matt's Vortex.
I like
We'll
it.
call it Neil's. I don't know. Give you the spins. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah, Neil Spinney.
Neil's spinny.
We'll come up with a clever name.
Put it like a 12% alcohol.
Yeah, it was called. It was so.
I
It was
gotta
called.
find these bottles now. I'm obsessed.
Not yeah. I was gonna say now that's it.
It's
This
over.
this is your mission.
It's over.
It was the right on the labels. It was called My Bud Light. Is that if that rings any bells?
When you could write on it.
Yeah,
I don't remember that. Was that during when we were in college?
I think so.
'Cause I didn't drink Bud
we
Light.
weren't. No,
then.
we weren't. We didn't
Remember
have enough
when-
money for that. Do you remember the Budweiser like bow tie cans?
Yes.
Good.
Cool one.
I always liked the older Bud Light logo, the one that was right before the new like blue can. It was like big on the side, big block letters, really cool can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then the bowling pin Bud Light bottles.
But they had the Budweiser ones
The
too.
Budweisers. They were 18 ounce, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my. Sorry.
Yeah,
Snapchat.
we don't have a phone in here. Why Miller Lite discontinued the Vortex bottle? I'm obsessed.
Maybe they'll bring it back if we hunt them down enough.
Got to start a big to do about.
I mean,
it.
I would
Yeah.
think you'd see a million of them
petition.
on eBay.
The
but they're-
Vortex bottle. Really promoting.
I just
Binge drinking.
Well, they promoted it as when you're pouring the beer out of the bottle into the thing. It's smooth, but why would you need it to be smooth?
Man, who gives
for
a
a
shit?
better
Just
pour
tilt
with
the
less
cup.
foam.
Oh man, you can't find any on
And then there were the lessers like the Natty Lights and the Keystones and the Bush Lights that just had to like take the scraps like, there's one orange Keystone in here, and if you find it, we'll give you $50 or something like that.
I did Bush Light though. I liked it. It's like it's fisherman's beer. I'm like, all right, seems cool to me.
Bush Light.
beer time 30. Beer time 30. It was a 30 rack. They just had beer and it had a clock.
Oh yeah.
Beer. Jenny Light.
Oh, Jenny Light.
Jenny
disgusting.
Cream.
God.
Jenny Ice.
Jenny Cream.
Jenny Cream.
Oh God.
I feel like Bud Ice missed out on a huge opportunity for a comeback when the Mountains Turn Blue technology came around.
But I should have done your
Yeah, probably.
advertisement.
What?
First snowfall.
First snowfall. Bud Ice. You got to get out there and get your Bud Ice.
Especially in like the New Hampshire, Maine area. Forget it.
They eat it
Vermont,
up.
they'd eat it up.
Yeah, you could easily target that too. Especially now, you could easily target that, and you could do it by location.
Hey, you want to
too.
get drunk faster at the same price? Get Bud Ice.
Get violently drunk with Bud Ice.
I'm surprised that they don't advertise Bud Ice more, or like beers like that
You
caliber.
you can barely find it. I like the liquor store that I go to near my house. So they have $12.99 for an 18 pack of High Life bottles.
Wow.
Deal. And then they also carry Bud Ice specifically for me. Like, I asked for, hey, you guys got Bud Ice in here? I was like, oh, you know what? We don't, but, we could probably get some in. I came in a week later. There's Bud Ice there now.
That's pretty cool. It's
And,
nice to have a local contact.
And so they don't put them in the cooler. They're just, like, out on the floor. And, like, there were 3 24-packs. And, like, throughout the course of, like, a month or two, I purchased all 3 24-packs.
No one else?
Nobody else bought it. So
I feel like if you didn't experience it in college or something, it's not something it's not an acquired taste.
no.
You have to have fond memories of it.
All right.
Yeah, I think
Well, that was an unexpectedly awesome segment.
Yeah, that was great. I
Yes.
love that. I'm going to clip that out and make it a little separate video.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's been the Average Nobodies podcast. We've been sponsored by Coors Light this episode. The mountains turn blue. Vent the cans.
Vortex.
Vortex.